for your first month for just $5. forhims.com/extra.
Dan Doggett here for Howald Heating and Air. They want you to know about their promise. I mean, really, a lot of companies make promises, but I guarantee Larry Howald and his team will keep them. Howald promises that no one will love your furnace, your air conditioner, or your plumbing system as much as them. Howald promises that their techs will arrive on time with a smile on their face and a firm handshake to assure you are in good hands. These techs will ensure quality and honest work. Howald Heating and Air is really a one-of-a-kind company looking for your feedback. HowaldHeatingandAir.com.
If you're VA eligible and even considering buying a home this year, get pre-approved in 5 minutes at hero.loan. That's hero.loan, the only way to VA.
We bleed blue.
The character of your locker room matters. It matters.
We live and die with our team.
The level of disappointment and the level of care for each other, that's when you know you're getting it right.
They're growing.
Their ability to hold each other accountable.
Stronger.
What are you willing to struggle for?
Building toward a championship.
It's what brings the locker room together.
Your home of the Colts. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. This is Indy Sports Center.
WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis.
The Pacers' homestand concludes against the Toronto Raptors tomorrow evening at 6:30 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
Kick is up, and it is long enough, and it is good. Adam Vinatieri, at age 45, drills one from 57 yards out.
Was kept alive by Oladipo, and Sabonis with a left hand.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Let's kickstart this bad boy on a Tuesday. Welcome in. A lot of college hoop tonight. Pacers got the night off. Tomorrow night is going to be the night for them. Get the Raptors in town. The only regular season trip for the Raptors here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. So we'll be talking that one up coming up tomorrow for sure. More NFL stuff going on. You got a lawsuit that has been filed from fans of the Saints. That's interesting. Everybody, people would have done it around here too. We were talking about this yesterday. Had this occurred here, I mean, this is something you'll talk about forever. I mean, something that just it took away a sure bet win. It took away a Super Bowl appearance. I mean, normally, in this day and age, normally we're just kind of what. We're kind of making more out of something than what it really is, right? I mean, we're pumping it up. It's hot take city. There's no hot take about that. I had a bunch of people email me today and say, oh, there's no way that we would do that around here. Yeah, I bet you would. There'd be some lawyers working OT about that around here. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Just the nature of it, right? I saw a lot of people got a darn Schefter this morning, too. You're probably going to ask me, so what's getting a darn Scheftered? It is, a darn Schefter is the gotcha Twitter account, the fake Twitter account that plays off of Adam Schefter, and it looks like Adam. A darn Schefter got me once, I think, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. A darn got me once. It was on a retweet, too. I didn't say, well, this is what it was on a retweet. But I saw a darn Schefter getting a lot of people this morning about having to replay the game as being a possibility and stuff. That was pretty classic. Yeah, but you got angry Saints fans, and that's no big surprise. One thing I did want to bring up, though, before we get to a lot of the local stuff going on, the Devontae Green story, which is it was popping for like the last 2.5 hours or so. I mean, all over social media, people asking, this is what I heard, this is what you're told. We'll jump on that story coming up in a couple of minutes, too, and Jeff Rabjohns is going to join us at 5, and I'm sure we'll have a full-scale discussion on that. Rakestraw is here at 4. Mark Minner, voice of the Butler Bulldogs. They have Villanova coming up tonight, and Zach Kiefer, the star. I'm going to go over, Zach has a list of what needs to be done in the offseason. And again, it's a really early list, but I love really early lists, and I love lists about what should be done in the offseason because you know that I have my thoughts on it. And anything goes at 6 o'clock today, which should be really good. All right, I mentioned the lawsuit with the Saints fans, right? Rick Venturi said this yesterday. He said, you watch, they'll end up firing Bob Sutton as the defensive coordinator of the Chiefs, and that's what they did this afternoon. Fired Bob Sutton. And there is the difference. Bob Sutton doesn't get fired. They may not like his in-game decision-making or what they call his lack of adjusting. I mean, the common theme reasons why somebody gets fired when their team is having a good year. His defense wasn't great, but they got after the quarterback, right? And they made it to the AFC title game. But you got to cut somebody loose, right? It probably would not have been about the lack of adjustments had Kansas City, got to stop. Or if D4 doesn't line up off sides, right? They probably are not getting rid of their defensive coordinator, but they did. Rick Venturi kind of made that call yesterday. Hey, by the way, if you missed Rick Venturi, 1070thefan.com, he was really good. I mean, we got down with it as far as the teams remaining. We got after it as far as the Colts coming up in 2019. This is going to be a great offseason. I mean, a great offseason. I guess we find ourselves saying that often, but this is a great offseason coming from a good place. I mean, we've been used to around here, really interesting offseason coming from a bad place or coming from the, holy hell, it can't get worse than this place. And then it did. And then it would. Something may have happened. I mean, remember all the crap last offseason? I mean, you had to go through crap to get the guy that has been a perfect head coach here. I mean, there's still a little bit of crap to take there. All right, one guy, he bails. You still had to go through some garbage to get there. But now this is a little bit different because now you are playing from a nice spot. I mean, from a comfortable feel, and I'm talking about it from a fan standpoint, not from the organizational standpoint. I mean, there's nothing comfortable about what they're doing right now. They're not allowing that. But what I'm saying is, from a fan standpoint, I mean, you're comfortable with what has been going on. You like the opportunity that they have moving forward. So everything is good for you right now, and that's different. That's different. I guess you got to double back all the way. The whole deflated football thing and AFC title game where everybody thought that, honestly, the next step was going to be getting to the Super Bowl, and then ultimately it was not. And it was FUBAR for 3 years. Getting rid of GMs, getting rid of coaches, discontent, infighting, crap going on within the organization. But now this is a different spot for you. Different place, different spot altogether. So we'll talk about the offseason. Zach Kiefer is going to join us coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. I'm going to see if what he believes kind of is in agreement to what I believe. You know what's kind of funny? If you listen at Daniel Jeremiah is a guy that is a scout. NFL Network, NFL.com, I believe. But he has a list of his top 25, top 30 guys. And for the most part, there are a lot of edge rushers on that list.
Hey, how's it going?
I mean, hey, what's up? Did you get called down somewhere or what? Oh, yeah, I know what you did. Yeah.
Emergency meeting.
Is that what happens? That's what happens.
Emergency meeting, John.
I've got to ask, and I don't want to bring up anything bad here, but how in the world does one have to do that at 3:01?
I mean, what?
I know when, as the saying goes, when nature calls, and I get that, but at 3:01?
I know.
I mean,
I wish.
Not at 2:54.
Well.
3:01?
Normally I have control. Today, thanks to Subway, I did not have control.
Man, 3:01. Yeah, anyway, we'll discuss that with Zach coming up.
Jeez, man.
Coming up a little bit later on. What?
Call me out.
I didn't call you out. I didn't know what happened there for a moment, and then I thought, oh, okay, 3:01. It seemed like your body would be
it normally is.
Not,
yeah, no, it is, honestly.
Right? I mean, you just kind of get used to it. But unless you're sick, and then whatever happens, happens. I shouldn't even brought it up, to be honest with you. Yeah, the laser light flashed at Tom Brady. I saw that. We'll get into that story coming up a little bit later on. I'm going to tell you what, the world's greatest fans, the Kansas City Chiefs fans, I saw it up close and personal. There's some knuckleheads in that group. There are knuckleheads everywhere, don't get me wrong. That's why you have to have lockups at all these stadiums, because of drunken knuckleheads. And getting drunk's only half of it. I mean, knucklehead's already there. And that's the worst thing in the world that you can do, is mix knucklehead with alcohol, or a great deal of alcohol with knucklehead. Yeah, I saw this too. You guys are asking me about CBS not going to accept a Super Bowl ad on medical weed. I've so far been over this. I'm not Mr. Weed guy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not, and I'm never going to be. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I'm a big fan of not having pain. You know? And you know this of me. I'm a big fan of trying nearly anything, especially if it's easy. Like, I'm probably not going to try anything if it's really difficult to do. Like right now, somewhere Brad Howell of ATI Physical Therapy is going, yeah, you're exactly right. Like, if it's difficult to do, I'm probably not going to try very hard, but I'll be damned if it's easy, I am going to try hard at it. Especially when it comes to pain, sleeping better, just overall your feeling as I approach the half-century mark here. CBS wants none of it. Until some point they do. Until some point they will. May not be this year. It may be next year. But at some point that is going to happen for sure. All right, IU Northwestern later on tonight. That is a Big Ten Network game, of course. And Devontae Green, according to Jeff Rabjohns, we'll talk to him. And this thing had been floating around for the past hour and a half or so, if not more. From what you're told or what you hear, he didn't even make the trip to Northwestern, and it could be longer than just this game for what people are talking about. And again, you get your garden variety of reasons why. I honestly, I'm not trying to, I mean, I know things have been going bad for IU, but I kind of sit here and I look at this and I go, well, okay. Again, not trying to make light of the situation, not absolutely knowing what it is, but being told what it is, not making light of it, but you just kind of go, okay. Even with the way that they have been playing as of late. He might knock down one of every 4 or 5 3-point shot, maybe. Man, you would like to see this team be able to bounce back, right? And I mentioned this yesterday. I mean, you already have articles out. You have people talking about it's year number 2 for Archie Miller. And people are already all over this team for the way that it looks and for the results, especially as of late, they're putting up. In that Marquette game, let's go all the way back to November, which is a long damn time ago, right? They did shoot the 3 better. They're not going to be a great 3-point shooting team, but they are absolutely horrendous. I mean, you watch teams not even guard them. I mean, not even, just pack it in and whatever. You guys do whatever out there. Amuse yourselves, but we're not going to be worried about you guys knocking down a perimeter jump shot at all. And, other than practice and get better at it, I don't know if you're going to be able to fix that this year. You just got to bring in guys. I mean, maybe sometimes you look at the most athletic guy in the world, but you compare it to a guy that's a knockdown 3-point shooter in the direction in which the world has been going now for a number of years, right? And I mean, the entire basketball world, right? I mean, not just everybody. Did you guys watch Klay Thompson last night? You knew I was going to bring up my love fest. First 10 threes he shot, first 10 threes he made. And the fact that we all love it because he doesn't dribble too much, which is great. But that is the direction, and there's no slowing down on the three-point train. If you were asking me about the Pacers, that is probably the thing that worries me more than anything else. You have all these teams around them in the Eastern Conference. And what I mean by teams around them, Milwaukee, Boston, Philadelphia with J.J. Redick, which was a guy, we talked about this last week, that Kevin Pritchard told us, and he gave us, I guess it was like an ED commercial. He had to put it in football terms, right? Like, have you heard the ED commercials on this station? We got to put the ED commercials in, because there are like 900 of them.
He baked somebody a cake?
We got to put them in football terms. And if you remember, Kevin Pritchard told us back at the end of the summer that with J.J. Redick as a free agent, they were on the 5-yard line. That's how close J.J. Redick was to being here, on the 5-yard line. They did not get to bake him a cake because he did not score a touchdown. But he was on the 5. So obviously, with what they have, and again, we'll get into Joel Embiid. I just can't stand him. It was again last night, and I can't stand really either team, but I was watching Philly and watching Houston, and I was trying to figure out which one I dislike the most. I think it's Embiid. I think if there's one guy in the NBA I dislike more than anybody else, is Joel Embiid.
Why?
But anyway, he just acts like a jackass. Does he not? He's a talented jackass, but am I wrong about that? And I know it was James Harden, and I really shouldn't care because I don't like him either. I know we were doing drop-off line sports this morning, and we were thinking, hey, who do you like? And I go, wait a minute here. Hold on. Who do I like?
Well, I think if I said, hey, John, my favorite flavor of ice cream is chocolate.
It has nothing to do with you, 301. Nothing.
You would say, chocolate, man, I still like it. I'd rather have vanilla.
What did they call the dude in American Pie? Blank break? 301. Hey, 301. I don't like or dislike Embiid because of you. I just think he acts like a jackass. Did you watch the game last night?
I did not.
He was acting like a jackass last night. And maybe if you're going to act like a jackass to somebody, I should embrace the fact that you're at least doing it to James Harden and the Rockets, but I don't like it. Does it have a lot to do because of his, quote, ownership of Miles Turner, Tony? Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Just maybe, but I'm not a fan. I am not incredibly talented, big guy. Now, you do kind of sit and you wait until he breaks down, I guess, right? You kind of wait until something happens, whether it's the back or whatever. But you kind of wait. But in the process, the guy goes 30 and 15, if not 30-plus and 15-plus every game. He is impressive, but I don't like him. All right, where does all this lead? Oh, this goes back to three-pointers, right? So back to J.J. Redick of the Sixers. They looked at bringing him in. They got really close. They didn't get him, and you would hope that Doug McDermott was going to be that guy. Doug McDermott hasn't close to been that guy. And if there's one thing that really worries me moving forward, it is going to be the lack of three-point making ability. I love so much about this Pacers team. I do. You know, even through the fact that, tomorrow night you're going to try to beat Toronto for the first time this year. You know, even through the fact that we kind of wonder why they haven't been able to be a little bit more successful against the playoff-worthy teams, even through all that. The thing that sticks out is where basketball in general is going. And there aren't a lot that don't utilize it to the top of the scale like most do, and that's the Pacers, and that's three-point making ability. It's where it starts with me. And I know we have questions individually. I mean, I brought up one, but that kind of qualifies, I think, in the category in which I'm talking about here. Doug McDermott, brought in to be able to knock down threes, and when he scores, most of the time it's a shot fake and then driving and laying it up. And you got to make some threes. This team, to me, that's the one thing that I question more than anything else. And we'll certainly jump into that discussion a little bit later on and get you set for the Raptors, of course, on tomorrow's show, which I cannot wait for. That should be fun. But again, I couldn't wait for the Sixers last Thursday night. We all saw how that ended. So anyway, Pacers-Raptors tomorrow night. 3-point making ability, a question mark for the Pacers. 3-point making ability is not just a question mark for IU. It is just a downright detriment. It just is. And I know they got off. They knocked some down, obviously, versus Marquette, and that's where everybody looks right now because you're looking for anything the way this team has played, especially in the recent history, like they did the other day on Saturday up at Purdue, like they did at home last week against Nebraska. You're looking for answers, and you're looking to equate something to be a positive because there just aren't a lot going on right now. I mean, if you're not injured, you're suspended. If you're not dogging it back on defense, the offense doesn't look good. And if you're on offense, you might be standing around a lot and watch other guys shoot up bricks. So not a lot going on right now. No Devontae Green later on tonight. We'll discuss that coming up with Jeff Rabjohns, as I mentioned, at 5 o'clock. Villanova and Butler. Tony's going to go to that. Are you mad at me over there? You look a little bit mad.
Don't talk to me. Yeah, I'm going tonight. Big one for Butler. They're 1.5-point favorites. Got to get a win tonight.
You don't really think I dislike Embiid because of you, though?
Yeah, absolutely. You dislike anything that I like.
Name it.
Kansas.
Well, I never liked. No, I didn't like Kansas.
Joel Embiid.
Well, before you, I didn't like Kansas. I will say this: I liked Harden in Oklahoma City.
Puddle of mud.
Yeah. Puddle of mud.
Just kidding.
Nice. Anyway, Villanova Butler later on tonight. We'll see if Butler is truly back at it. People say, hey, it looks like that they're enjoying things more, and it's easier to enjoy when you play better and when you win games. So hopefully that is the case.
Tonight's almost must win, John. They're a team right on the bubble.
That's right.
I know you're Mr. Must Win guy.
Oh, I'm just completely must win.
But yeah, tonight, because this goes when they show the graphic from here on out, Butler's tournament resume, it's going to say key wins, and Villanova, if they get this one tonight, it's going to be on there. Because it's tough from here on out.
Well, you get key losses on there too, and that one is that crap fest at Xavier's a bad one.
Yeah.
At home versus Georgetown's a bad one. That Florida game where they weren't in it at all, even though they beat them earlier. So yeah, you got to match up some of these key losses with key wins, as you mentioned there.
And there's no wriggle room because you go to Creighton on Friday, Marquette, Seton Hall. You get to go to Villanova in February. I would almost say this is must win from here on out from Butler. You might be able to still get in with a loss or two, but the more wins you pile up, the further away you get from that bubble.
JMV, would you freak out? Because I think I would if I ever saw a weed ad air during the Super Bowl. Listen, I'm too old, I think, to be freaking out over a lot. I don't think so. We watch. We have a lot of them here, obviously, all these ED commercials. But if you watch TV, it's like between me and PAI hair commercials, it's me, PAI hair commercials, and ED commercials the entire time. The entire time.
Saw your billboard last night about wreck.
That's pretty good up there, doesn't it? I get a lot of love there on the north side, up there by Keystone Avenue, the exit. That's a good spot right there, too. I like it. But no, it wouldn't. To answer your question, thank you very much for the email. It wouldn't bug me too much. It just simply wouldn't. All right, here's what I got for today. I have a pair of tickets to see The Who. Of course, tickets went on sale last week. Roger Daltrey, Pete Townsend, they are going to be back in Indianapolis coming up on May the 19th, I believe. 18th and 19th, I'll have to check that. It's May the 18th, I believe, is what it is at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. Got a pair of tickets for that. And we didn't do anything yesterday, so I'm going to do it today because I know a lot of you were off, and now you're working back into the work rotation because of the off day, the holiday yesterday. We have for you Santana and Doobie Brothers tickets, and I think I got a couple of pair. Reasons why you need to join me on Friday. We were the absolute hit of the Indianapolis Home Show last year, and I didn't have a tool belt. I didn't have fertilizer. And nothing. I had nothing. I wasn't putting on a show about how my liquid takes rust out of everything. Nothing. My cleaner we had the hit booth. If you've never seen an ice luge, it is awesome. And then when you mix it in with a little bourbon from Evan Williams, it makes it better. You can join us again. We're going to do it again on Friday. It is at the Connecticut booth on Friday at the Indianapolis Home Show. By the way, you can get your discounted tickets at ConnecticutIndy.com right now, but it is a blast. Absolute blast. Join me out there. All right, quick break. We'll come back. I want your calls regarding Super Bowl. You want to go there? Colts off season, we can do that. Man, so many of you disagree on Drop Off Line Sports about my take where I get it. I do. It's a little bit different. I mean, when you look at teams getting after the quarterback, that is a desperate need for the Colts. I still don't think it is more of a need than making sure you get an equal to, or to me, better than playmaker than T.Y. I know that I have an offensive lean, but I got news for you. So does the NFL. A lot of you disagree. IU Northwestern, Villanova, Butler later on tonight. We'll sneak in a little Pacers conversation as well. Rakestraw, Menor, Rabjohns, Kiefer, anything goes in the 6, and your chance to win. Let's get fired up and ready to go with your calls next.
After a record-breaking year at Diamonds Direct, we just want to say thank you for your support, your confidence, your trust. It's never something we take for granted, and we pledge to work even harder in the new year to exceed your expectations. And for 2019 at Diamonds Direct, we're expanding our selection once again with an even larger inventory of hand-picked diamonds. These are precious 100% natural stones created literally billions of years ago deep in the center of the earth. Real, rare diamonds with lasting and proven value, offered at the guaranteed best price in America. Plus, we've expanded our selection of one-of-a-kind designer jewelry, the latest fashion-forward pieces you won't find anywhere else. If you're getting engaged or celebrating a special anniversary this year, come let us share our passion for diamonds. Let us show you how to identify real value, and let us help you make the most of this remarkable moment in your life. Diamonds Direct, offering the unique blend of uncompromising luxury and unbeatable value. Come discover the remarkable combination for yourself. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. At Cordell & Cordell, we encourage our clients to participate, to recognize how essential their role in this process is. They've got to be willing to help us help them. And by working jointly in a sort of partnership, we're more likely to get the best possible outcome for our clients. And that's really the standard that our clients can fairly hold us to, is what is the best possible outcome for them. So clients who are facing divorce need to recognize that for them to succeed, they need a partnership between them and their attorney.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Dan Dockage here. Does your company need stronger talent to grow your business? Without the best talent, it's hard to win. Joe Huffine and Kingsley Rose are helping companies all over the country in multiple industries recruit top talent. Private equity firms, multi-billion-dollar firms, and small companies are hiring Joe Huffine and Kingsley Rose to build management teams, sales teams, operations, IT teams. Need a CFO? Sales leader or CIO? Visit Kingsley-Rose.com, one of the only retained search firms in Indianapolis, Kingsley-Rose.com.
That's Andy Moore Toyota. It's in Avon, and Jeremy Wilson is the guy you need to talk to. I'm telling you, 2019 can be fantastic at the beginning right now. Put the end to the winter doldrums with a new ride, car, truck, or van from Indiana's Best. By the way, too, get a great deal. Get the best deal with Jeremy, with Chris, with Moose, with Diana, with Andrew. Just great people out there that are ready, willing, and able to give you the best deal possible, too. And here's the best part about it. You don't have to go running around all over central Indiana to find this deal. You know, you hear this or you read that or you see this. No, go to one place. It's like when our grandparents used to go to that one place every single time because you trusted the folks that you were dealing with. They were going to give you the best deal with the guarantees, with the coverage, with everything you need at one place with one visit. Now, first things first, log on to AndyMooreToyota.com. Find out a little bit more about what you want, eyeball it, but then head on out to the west side. It's US 36. Tell them I sent you. Again, online at AndyMooreToyota.com today.
Comfort food is here at White Castle, the 99-cent Sloppy Joe slider. It's my slept past the alarm, was late for an interview, spilled coffee on everything, split my pants, broke my heel on the way to a concert that was actually yesterday, not today. Slider. The White Castle Sloppy Joe slider, topped with smoked cheddar cheese. The ultimate winter comfort food. Only 99 cents for limited time. White Castle. Now that's a bold move. While supplies last. Tax not included. Cheese is pasteurized process at participating castles.
Are you going to wait another year to do something about your thinning hair? Hey, it's JMV. Trust me, it's only going to get worse. Call PAI right now, 888-724-5129. Talk to my friend Darren Andrews, the clinic director from PAI Medical Group. He's got a unique perspective. He's actually gone through the procedure.
Thanks, JMV. Like all of us, I wanted the best solution for my hair loss, and that's what motivates us at PAI. We want what you want, the best technology and great results.
Here's the thing I like, too. Guys like you, Darren, you've been through the procedure, so you know what happens. You've seen it before.
That's right. Come in and see the results of our Artis Robotic FUE, our multi-unit hair grafting, and our PRP, platelet-rich plasma.
And the evaluation is absolutely free. This year, you have nothing to lose but more hair. Again, the number, 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com. Go to my VIP page and see my results. 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com right now.
Hey there, it's Stan Dockett. You know KeyBank is the official banking home of the Indiana Pacers, and over there, financial progress is the game plan. No matter if you're ahead or behind, you can always be going for the financial win when you use the red key. KeyBank is member FDIC.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Marshall Home Comfort Solutions in Franklin? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
It's a battle between two of the top teams in the East when your Indiana Pacers and the Toronto Raptors meet Wednesday at 7. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers, Raptors, Wednesday at 7.
We bleed blue.
The character of your locker room matters. It matters.
We live and die with our team.
The level of disappointment and the level of care for each other, that's when you know you're getting it right.
They're growing.
Their ability to hold each other accountable.
Stronger.
What are you willing to struggle for?
Building toward a championship.
It's what brings the locker room together.
Your home of the Colts. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
It was fun. We beat them by 30. It was really fun for us. I don't think it was fun for them.
I'm not a big Embiid guy. I'm not. You guys are wanting it, right? So I am Mr. Must-Win Situation. And I own it. I own it. I own it when it goes wrong. I will tell you all about it when it's accurate. So, the king of the must-win situation has this as a Connecticut water question of the day. Let's go around the room. Let's go around the city. Let's go around the state at 239-1070. Email address JMV at 1070thefan.com or on Twitter at JMV1070. Who has more of the must-win situation tonight? In college hoop, IU or Butler? Butler's at home against Villanova. IU on the road at Northwestern. Who has more of the must-win? I'd like you to lob in something about everything needs to be reviewed after 2 minutes, but we're probably worn out there, right? We may be worn out. If you're not worn out, that's okay. More of a must-win. IU or Purdue tonight? And again, the circumstances with Villanova, Butler needs to continue. They need to get some wins. There's no doubt about that. And Villanova will be a nice one, even if Villanova is down, compared to what they've done 2 out of the last 3 years, but still a really good home win and a necessary home win. But if you're IU, you lose tonight. That is 5 in a row. And then you get Michigan up next at home. That could be 6 in a row. That, to me, is a bigger issue. Therefore, IU is more of a must-win. Tony?
Yeah, I think they're both must-wins.
But you can't answer them both. 301.
Okay. Well, you're not going to like my answer either way because you'll go opposite of me. So why do you even ask?
Well, no, you can't have them both. One. You were mad about 301. Don't be mad about that. It's funny. Everybody's laughing about it. I'm not laughing at you. They're laughing with you.
I'll go Butler because this is a tournament resume win against a ranked opponent on your home court. You have to have this game. If IU loses, it's not a great. If either team were to lose tonight, it's not a bad loss, but I still think IU has a lot to do in the Big Ten and has more time to do that. Butler's not going to play too many more ranked opponents the rest of the season. IU is.
So I look at IU this way. I look at you got a player suspended, reportedly, allegedly, in Devontae Green. You've lost 5 in a row. Check that, 4 in a row. It'd make it 5 in a row. All of a sudden, now you have the circulation of articles about, well, you know what? Archie Miller is not this, he's not that, and do you make it? And this is leading down a path of a craptacular destination. It's where we're going. To me, IU's to the top of the list. Austin, the intern, I'm going to have you answer it from Center Grove since you're in studio. Go.
Yeah, I think it's a bigger game for IU tonight. I mean, I'm looking at their upcoming schedule. I mean, their next 8 games, none of them are cupcakes. So I think it's definitely big that IU gets the win tonight Northwestern.
IU for me. I'll lob that Connecticut water question of the day at you in a second. I'll let you guys go crazy with it because I know you want to. How could there be levels of must win? Because I guess it's just me. I'm a must win guy. Yeah, I know the 420 thing. We'll talk to Rab Johns about, not that he would know a great deal about 420, but he may in this case. The different levels of must win. I guess that it is easier, as we saw with the Colts, when I put a must win in week number 1 against the Bengals to come back from that, than it would be IU losing tonight and then staring straight at 6 consecutive losses. That work? JMV, I completely agree that the Colts need a wide receiver ahead of a pass rusher. Look at how New England shut down one of the best pass rushing teams in Kansas City, stopping their offense. Not so much. The other part about that is, Sean, New England is just so damn different. I never factor in New England. They have different guys, but they're all the same. That makes sense. It sounds like a Cheech and Chong type of thing right there, but they have different guys, but they're same, meaning that their system is the same, and they bring in guys that just fit it, right? It's like Johnny Bravo. Yeah, Greg Brady was Johnny Bravo. Why? Because he fit the suit. These guys fit the uniform. These guys fit the system. And it's just not the same. It's never been the same. At least to me, and it progressively has become even less. So I put New England over here, and that's something you're going to have to deal with. But all these other teams, to me, I mean, New England's identity is just being head and shoulders above everybody else as far as system and coaching is concerned, I guess. I mean, how else do you explain it? What? 2 decades of luck? Probably not. And listen, it doesn't make me feel good sitting here and having to talk about this, but again, I don't know how else you have to explain it or can explain it. That's incredible. Like, we were going over this last night, and Van Noy looks like Ninkovich, who looks like Vrabel. I mean, it's just all this. It's weird. And James White looks like Kevin Falk. You know what I mean? They just have guys that fit the system, and it's different. Hopefully one of these days that's not going to be the case, but one of those days would not happen to be right now. JMV, please just disagree with everything Tony says today. Just ask him random things and tell him why he's wrong. That's outstanding right there.
Dump button hit.
That was somebody else. That wasn't me. And you played a little hoop at Butler today? What did you guys have, 16 people?
Yeah, we had a lot.
Nice.
4-on-4, spread it out, shoot it.
I like playing over there. Brady Collier playing today?
He did not. Kyle Smith played. Josh played.
I like Josh. Who's the tall dude, the 6'7"? Who's that?
I forgot his name. He was on my team.
Huh.
Him and I were just shooting the hell out of it.
I saw this from Adam Schefter. Names to watch now with the D.C. opportunity in Kansas City. You guys ready for this? Former Jets and Bills head coach and current ESPN analyst Rex Ryan, who has been approached about other defensive coordinator openings in recent seasons. All right. Do you think that is true, or is that ESPN bro helping another ESPN bro circulated name? What would you say? Truth to it, or name circulation?
Fodder. It's fodder.
Name. That sounds like name circulation to me. Maybe I'll be wrong. That seems like, hey, bro, can you put my name in a tweet?
I got your back, bro. What happened? Wasn't
And
it last year?
This is how that happens. All these names get out there, and a lot of it, the only reason it gets linked is because an agent says, hey, Schefter, guess what? My guy is talking with these people. These people have interest in my guy, even if it's either little to no interest. That's what happens.
Didn't that happen around the trade deadline with the Boston Celtics a few years ago?
Just the Paul George stuff. Yeah, the Paul George stuff was all Danny Ainge, remember? Danny Ainge, either Danny Ainge or somebody in the Boston organization just had, for lack of a better phrase, Jeff Goodman all been over with everything. I mean, all been over with every piece of information. Hey, they don't look our direction yet. We're going to offer up 4 number 1 picks. And, we had Kefren Pritchard on the show, and he said that wasn't true at all. Not even close to the truth.
That goes around. That goes on a lot of different levels around here.
JMV, this is a spot in the conversation where you bring up the Patriots have been caught, busted, cheating multiple times, cast a bit of a shadow over what they've accomplished. I don't know. Listen, Robbie, if you can find that shadow, show it to me. If that shadow still exists of deflated footballs or taping inside huddles or taping sidelines, if that shadow still exists, let me know, because I don't see it, I guess, anymore. Now, I've not been looking for it, but I don't see it anymore. I mean, that seems like that is completely and absolutely yesterday's news. It seems like now it's more about just what they are and a system more than it's about, hey, this is the leverage they got. This is the extra help, the help side they got by virtue of cheating. Listen, I could be wrong, though, Robbie. I'm not looking for it, but I just don't see it anymore. Hey, listen, it's no fun to sit around here and pat him on the back. JMV, this from John Buzzard. So I go to a Pacer game Saturday versus the Mavericks. Despite the jacket-off weather, people were there an hour early, and it was packed. Yeah, the jacket-off weather forecast really, I will say this, though. There were about 3 hours on Saturday evening where it was snowing and windy, and it was pretty ridiculous. But overall, it wasn't much. I would agree with you there. It's from Colby, Monroe County. I don't like Embiid because of Tony. That's going to make him upset. Don't make him upset. Brian Ferguson writes this. I completely agree. Embiid, talented jackass. That's exactly what I see. I do. I should love James Harden as much as I love Klay Thompson, right? But I don't. All right, quick one. Tim, I'm going to leave with you on the other side. Brock's going to jump in here as well. And I'm going to go ahead and put up that Connecticut water question of the day. More of a must-win tonight. Is it IU or is it Butler in hoopage? IU or Butler in hoopage? See where that goes from here. Rakestraw, top of the hour. Mark Minner is the voice of the Dogs at 4:30. Jeff Rabjohn, Zach Kiefer. We're going to work in some off-season Colts conversation, needs, addressing, whatever, and your chance to win some stuff as well. I'm going to turn this thing around and give you that chance next.
Museum by Moonlight at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis is back Saturday, February the 23rd. Register to win a pair of tickets online now, 1070thefan.com.
Chad and Tyler Peterman for Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Chad, a lot of people ask me, what makes Peterman special?
I think the biggest thing is our goal of making Peterman the best place for each of our team members to work.
I couldn't agree more.
I think we have found that when we work together as a family, we can continually provide the best service in town and improve the lives of our customers each and every day.
Seeing a smile on the customer's face after we've helped them with their heating or plumbing issue is why we do what we do.
It's not our vision to be just another heating and plumbing company. It's our mission to become the very best company in our industry for our customers.
So, when you call Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, you know we've worked hard to make sure you get the best.
It's protection you can trust from a family who truly cares.
Call 859-4270. Call Peterman for heating, cooling, and plumbing. Peterman's the way to go.
I received 3 promotions in the first year.
Josh from Indy was a coffee shop supervisor before starting a customer service career at Geico in 2016.
Just a sense of stability made a huge difference. Knowing what I was going to be doing. In my last job, everything was so hectic. You didn't know what was going to happen or what you were going to do. Somebody calls off and your whole day is ruined. But now I know what I'm coming in for. Having a set schedule has been amazing. To know that I have these days off has made my personal life a lot more convenient.
Visit geico.job/Indy to apply.
Hey, John here for my friends at Forum Credit Union. I love it because they're always working for you, always trying out new ways to help you save money. I'm telling you, especially when you have kids that begin to get a little bit older and you see that light, which is raised academics and college schooling, if you will, down the road. And you know what? You got to address that. And now is a great time to address it with a Sprout account that saves money each and every year and has you and your kids prepared for college ahead. It's brilliant, too. And it's just one of the many ways that Forum Credit Union helps you save. You know, I pointed out to you, over Christmas time, the Common Sense program where every time you use your card, you save money. And I know that you use your card a great deal over the Christmas holiday season. They're always coming up with ways to save just like that. So tell Trevor Green that I sent you. Stop by a branch location today, and for more information on any of the ways that you can save and make it Forum Credit Union online, forumcu.com today.
After a record-breaking year at Diamonds Direct, we just want to say thank you for your support, your confidence, your trust. It's never something we take for granted, and we pledge to work even harder in the new year to exceed your expectations. And for 2019 at Diamonds Direct, we're expanding our selection once again with an even larger inventory of hand-picked diamonds. These are precious 100% natural stones created literally billions of years ago deep in the center of the earth. Real, rare diamonds with lasting and proven value, offered at the guaranteed best price in America. Plus, we've expanded our selection of one-of-a-kind designer jewelry, the latest fashion-forward pieces you won't find anywhere else. If you're getting engaged or celebrating a special anniversary this year, come let us share our passion for diamonds. Let us show you how to identify real value, and let us help you make the most of this remarkable moment in your life. Diamonds Direct, offering the unique blend of uncompromising luxury and unbeatable value. Come discover the remarkable combination for yourself. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. Right now, get your first month's supply for free. All you pay is just $5 for your medical consultation when you go to forhims.com/extra. After that, it's just $30 for a month's supply. Sure beats paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/extra. That's forhims.com/extra for your first month for just $5. forhims.com/extra.
Know the feeling of satisfaction you get from a job well done? Our customers do. Corey Kreitzberger here, General Manager of your local Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. We're proud to offer customers a 100% satisfaction guarantee backed by 24/7 service and our trained licensed plumbers. Call us and get $52 off any plumbing repair.
Go with the flow, the local pros call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing.
conditions, and tax may apply. License CP101-00018.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Collect them, trade them, or just enjoy them.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Dave Matthews Band Bag. 28th, 29th of June, Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. That was announced today. I know you guys love you some Dave. Woo! I liked it too, but the time I went with David Benner, they didn't play one damn song that I knew. And it's not like I've had my head under a rock with Dave Matthews Band for the past, 25 or so years, but I just went, what? Not one I recognize. Still good, though. Got no complaints from me. I love it when all these concerts start to get announced. It's always good. JMV, a Red snagged another solid pitcher yesterday in Sonny Gray. Over under now 77.5. If they can't make the over this year, I'll be looking for a new general manager. What do you say the over under is? Oh man, did you have to ask? Tony, what if I say the Reds are going to win 90 games this year? Stop it. Hey, Tucker, you're out there listening. How many games you guys going to win this year? Hey, I need to go all in. Like, people were giving me, well, I'm a Yankee fan, and you should have seen Sonny Gray last year. I so don't give a big fat crap about Sonny Gray in New York last year, all right? Stop trying to break my stride here. I feel good about what they're doing, because they are doing. They're doing something, and that is good. Just quit trying to burst my bubble about this. It makes me feel good. I realize that the rest of the Central Division with the Brewers and the Cubs and now the reloaded Cardinals, that's going to be tough, but I don't care. It's like the first time in a long time that I can feel really good about it.
Rather see him pitched every 4 days and Homer Bailey tossing a beach ball to end up in the river.
Homer Bailey. Homer Bailey. Hey, by the way, before I get to the calls, quick shout out. Hi, Charlene. Sam Elliott, who, Tony, almost 30 years ago, was absolutely snubbed by the Academy for his supporting role of Wade Garrett in Roadhouse. Complete snubberoo almost 30 years ago. And he got that supporting Best Actor nomination for something. What was it? Stars Born?
It's about time he did something.
Way to go, Sam Elliott. He probably should have got one for Tombstone, too. But my God, listen, anybody in acting knows that if anybody deserved a supporting actor nod, it was Sam Elliott in Roadhouse. Good Lord.
Wasn't his best role as the voice of Coors Original?
His best role is anything that he's in. Seriously. Anything that he's in and he speaks, it's great. You can't go wrong with Sam Elliott. Seriously. Name me one thing that's ever gone wrong.
And Ghost Rider kind of sucked. Mask wasn't very good.
Mask wasn't very good. He had the best. Like, I love my JMV Sucks t-shirts. Look up the t-shirt that he wore in Mask. That alone shows you how great that he is. When you can rock a t-shirt like that. I don't think I can say it on here, what it said, but it was still great. Congratulations, Sam Elliott. I haven't seen a movie at the theater since September 21st, 1999, so I bet you, though, Stars Born and Sam Elliott in a supporting role was out freaking standing. So, a little get back from almost 30 years ago. Sam Elliott. The banquet beer. It's what's for dinner. I mean, anything you say, all you got to do is talk. Hey, Tim's at 239-1070. Tim, go ahead.
I agree with you on Sam Elliott. Unbelievable voice and presence on a screen. If you've ever seen the film Gettysburg, he's got a supporting role in that. He's incredible.
Incredible. He deserves the accolades, and I'm glad. Glad for Sam Elliott. One of my all-time favorites. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, item one, not even a question. IU's got to win this game. I mean, should be, your poll should be 95.5. But I digress. What I want to ask you about is IU basketball, and one player in particular that I love. Every time he's in there for mop-up duty or whatever, he just the ball finds him under the glass, and that's the what's his name? The kid.
This has turned out to be the greatest call of all time. Well done.
No, you know him. He's got the blonde hair. Wait a minute! Don't stay with me because I want your opinion on this.
Oh, hey, I'm with you. I'm with you.
It's important to me. Let me think. It's Hunter's out. Thompson's out. For God's sakes, what's his name? He's got a lot of energy on the bench.
Johnny Jager.
No.
Oh.
He's an OG type body.
Okay, I'm going to have to move on here, Tim. But go ahead. Just go. You can play off of that. Go ahead.
All right. Well, this kid's not getting a shot, and every time he gets in the game, he scores 6-8 points, and the ball just literally finds him under the glass. He's got.
And clearly, you're not talking about Evan Fitzner. Yes.
No, I'm not talking about that fella. He's.
Are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Who's he talking about? How about if I just name the entire roster and you just tell me who you're talking about?
Okay, go.
Romeo Langford, Al Durham, Johnny Jager, Justin Smith, Jake Forrester, Clinton Taylor. Jake Forrester it is, my God. There we go.
Thank you. Thanks for bearing with me.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm okay.
Jake Forrester's got the best attitude I've ever seen a kid have. He hustles when he gets in there. You look up the numbers. He's every time he gets in, he scores 4, 6, 8 points in 2 minutes.
I will say this to play off of what you're saying. I thought Clifton Moore deserved a little bit of time. What was it, last week at home against Nebraska? Yeah. When everybody else was kind of a big screw up there and didn't have much energy, I thought that he did. I thought by virtue of that he deserved more time, but that's clearly not the point you've been making. Hey, I got to hit a break here, Tim. Thank you for the call.
Thanks, Mike.
I was going to run up like rosters from the past. All right, Brock, you would hang on. We'll come over the other side. Hey, at least he agreed with me regarding Sam Elliott, though. Hello. Fantastic. Quick one. We'll come back. Rakestraw, top of the hour. Mark Bitter, bottom of the hour. Back with you next.
There's never an excuse for missing anything on The Fan. 1070 The Fan on connected devices and smart speakers. 1070thefan.com. 1070 The Fan app on iTunes and the Google Play Store. For a full list, go to 1070thefan.com/listen. Plus, you can listen to all the shows by subscribing to the podcast. Take us anywhere and everywhere you go. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Your home for indie sports.
Hey, it's Jonathan Skillman.
And Travis Cornwell.
And we know the weather's getting cold, so we're turning up the heat on our deals here at Ray Skillman Chevrolet.
Start your year off strong in a new Chevy truck. With over 200 in stock, save over $11,000 on a new Silverado. Or drive one for just $159 a month.
Drive a new Cruze for just $89 a month. Or take home a 19 Tahoe for just $399 a month.
Ray Skillman Chevy's got your truck, man.
I-74 in Post Road or RaySkillmanChevrolet.com.
Find new roads at Ray Skillman Chevrolet.
With approved credit, see dealer for complete details.
We growhairandy.com. It's PAI. It's Darren Andrews. And, well, ways you can get your hair back. Seriously. Ways that you can regenerate the growth of your hair. There's nothing fake about it. Seriously. There's no application here. There's no glue. There's nothing sprayed on. There's no tape. There's no staple. Nothing like that. It's just your real growing hair again with PAI. It all comes down to this. Whether or not, that's what you want. And if you do, I'm telling you, there's a way with PAI. And talk to Darren about it. Multi-unit hair grafting, artist robotic FUE, 888-724-5129. check out my commercials on TV. Like in the afternoon, during all these afternoon talk shows where everybody starts screaming and saying, talk to the hands, that is my most popular slot right there, where you can see my real growing hair again with PAI, or the billboard on the north side off of 465 near Keystone Avenue. We grow hair Indy on proof.com today.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Here are a few quick divorce tips that we provide our clients. Number 1, don't move out of your house just because your wife tells you to. Remember, that's your house too. And number 2, don't blow through the financial statements that you file with the court. These are key exhibits, and they often make or break your case. And number 3, watch the social networking. Expect your wife's lawyer to do a thorough online search. And incidentally, this is a two-way street. Now, a bonus tip. Partner with your attorney in assembling evidence. You're one of the 2 leading experts on your life and marriage. Your attorney needs your input to achieve your goals. And finally, talk to your attorney before taking action. Good luck.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Visit online at CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
At IUPUI, creating tradition is a team sport. It takes players who compete with ferocious determination. It takes fans who go above and beyond. It takes you. We need you to rise up and support us, to energize us and intimidate our opponents, to roar with all your might. Cram the Coliseum at the Fairgrounds on Saturday. IUPUI celebrates its 50th anniversary. They host Detroit Mercy at 1 o'clock. Together, we'll launch a new era of victory at IUPUI. Find out how to roar with the Jags all season long at IUPUIJags.com.
George Faber here, owner of B Window. Are you a subcontractor and tired of dealing with taxes, regulations, and going to the dump? Why not call us and let us show you how, as an employee, you can have your own new truck, trailer, and gas and make $100,000 a year like many of our guys do now. We work our crews every day and have a huge backlog for the winter. Call right now, 317-283-8522, or go to bwindow.com.
That's Faber's B-Window. Trust me.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. Butler hosts defending national champion Villanova this evening at 6:30 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
The soft tropical air caresses your skin with a gentle kiss.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Butler, Villanova. Were you going to play that? Or I'm sorry, I walked right over that. That was my bad right there. Hold on a second. Let me intro this instead. All right. This is last night. The great Klay Thompson put on a shooting exhibition. Tony.
And Thompson again. He is 10 for 10 from three-point range and 7 for 7 in the quarter.
TNT. The call last night. 10 for 10 to start. Ties an NBA record. Klay Thompson is one of my top 5 players in the NBA. Is he one of yours? Top 5?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Who are your top 5 NBA players?
Victor Oladipo. Domantas Sabonis. Damian Lillard. James Harden. Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, you don't like Andrew Wiggins because he went to Kansas. So I go Sabonis, Turner, Thompson. Top 3. I give you 3. I like Antetokounmpo. I like watching him play. I do.
No love for Victor. Okay.
I like Vic.
First. Nope.
I like Vic, but I know.
Nope.
I go Sabonis is my favorite NBA player. And then Miles is my second favorite NBA player. And then it's Klay Thompson. I say Klay like I know him. Like we're buddies. Like we're pals. Hey, Klay. Yeah, no, that's not a good list.
It's your opinion, John. That's what matters. Stick to it. I love watching Damian Lillard. I like CJ McCollum.
I like watching Lillard too. And who else?
It's tough because I think there's a lot of players that there are things you like about it, but like I like watching Kemba Walker, but I wouldn't say he's my favorite player.
He didn't do anything for me on Sunday night.
I love watching the Joker for the Nuggets. He'd probably be a top 10 player just because he can do it all. He can pass well.
I'm going to mention Gary Harris just because Gary Harris Sr. is a friend of the show.
There you go.
And I'm going to get Donovan Mitchell. I like watching Donovan Mitchell, too.
I really like who's a lefty in Utah. Can't think of his name.
No, you like Joe Ingles.
Joe Ingles. I like him because he's a crap talker.
He's a crap talker.
He'll look right back at you.
Australian for crap talker. Should we be, and I know that we don't really care, right? We're not supposed to care, but should Paul George be given a little bit more national credit for the season he's having so far in Oklahoma City?
I was going to ask you.
Should I realize that because he's having a pretty damn good year?
I was going to ask you because if we did a quick slant yesterday, Paul George is. We so easily say that, and this is no knock on Sabonis or Victor, but we easily say that the Pacers won the trade easily. Paul George is having a hell of a season, and it's probably his best season yet.
Yeah, it has been that. Scott asked me this: how long would it take you to hit 10 3-pointers in a row unguarded from anywhere you want? From the high school line, that's candy from a baby right there. What do you think, Tony? 30 minutes or less to hit 10 in a row?
Yeah. I hit 6 in a row.
Now, the NBA line's a little bit different right there. The NBA line's a little different.
Got to put a little more.
I know you guys are all laughing, but, we play all the time. You guys probably don't. You guys play cards and drink beers. But, listen, straight on, you put it right top of the key, high school 3. That's a layup anymore. Give me Brock at 239-1070. Hello, Brock.
Hey, how's it going?
Great, Brock. Go ahead.
So 2 things. The first one is I think Tyrell Williams for the Chargers should be a target for the Colts. Big wide receiver. He's still in his prime, and I think he'd be pretty cheap.
Right. That's somebody that we have pointed out there. Not the type of guy that I'm looking for, but certainly maybe a guy to highlight and think that he may end up here. But I would agree with you. What else?
The second thing is, I think that if Peyton Manning would have laid the egg that Tom Brady laid on Sunday night, that he would have been raked over the coals, washed up, and just done. Tom threw 3 interceptions. One of them was called back. He had a rookie running back get over 100 yards, and the last 3 scores were all on the ground. The last 4 scores were all on the ground. He just doesn't get hated on the way Peyton did.
Oh, I don't know. Listen, had D Ford not lined up offsides, then that would have the whole sentiment right now would be Tom Brady's career over, done. That whole D Ford thing, I think it got his DC run in Kansas City, and then probably saved a couple of careers, at least from the court of public opinion. Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, who that interception, that tip pass was off the hands of. So I don't know about getting raked over the coals or needing to be raked over the coals, but maybe so. Maybe so.
I think if Peyton would have given up a 2-touchdown lead in the AFC Championship game like that, no matter what, he would have been raked over the coals.
See, that's the problem I have, though, because you still had an offense you were dealing with the MVP and Pat Mahomes, though. It's not like that it was Brady giving it up. You know what I mean? I think that finally KC's offense was doing what everybody expected it to do.
I agree. I just have always felt like Peyton took so much unfair criticism, and Tom just has always been above that for some reason. So,
well, because he's one more, and is the GOAT. He's the GOAT in that category right now. I don't think anybody's going to argue that.
I'm just a hater.
Yep. Thanks, Brock. I appreciate it. Brock's a hater. I'd like to be. Listen, I'm kind of a hater too. I'm just not in Tom Brady hate mode right now. I don't like Embiid. I'm in Embiid. I'm anti-Embiid right now. I don't like him at all. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. Greg Rakestraw joins us. Who's in more must-situation win mode tonight, Butler or IU?
I think it's IU, even though they have the better NCAA tournament resume. I just think from a pressure, from kind of a mental standpoint, from the fact that they're spiraling, I think it's IU. And given, frankly, whom they are playing, I think it's IU.
I would agree with IU because you also look beyond this. You lose to Northwestern, that's 5 consecutive. That easily is turned into 6 with Michigan next on the schedule at home.
Right. And again, Northwestern, it's not the stigma that Northwestern was 5-10 years ago. They're now 2 years removed from being an NCAA tournament team. And IU, beat them in a close one at home back in that early conference weekend in December. But just to stop the bleeding from kind of where this season was to where it's gone, I think there's far more pressure on IU tonight.
So Greg Rakestraw joins us. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So it's been all over social media. I saw Jeff Rybjohn's tweet about it. People were telling me before I went on the air that Devontae Green is in trouble, was left behind, probably will miss more than just this game in Northwestern later on tonight. Haven't heard anything official, but again, that's what's floating around right now. If all the above would be true, how damaging is that, in your opinion, to IU's basketball team?
It's damaging just because this team has had issues in terms of number of bodies, and they've had enough injuries to where you need more people, not less. But at the same time, that means more minutes, more touches for Finney and Langford. So if this had come when Finney had been hurt, it is a major problem. I would consider it more of a nuisance than anything else.
Watching Romeo Langford on Saturday, that was the Romeo Langford that I think we have never seen before. The way that he looked.
I would agree. Yeah, and
I know Purdue had a lot to do with that too, but
absolutely. And something hit me, and I don't think this explains everything of a bad performance, but in watching that game, it hit me that I wonder if Romeo Langford had ever had that much of the crowd against him in a game before. And let me explain, because even when they're on the road, while that kid's in high school, it was a home game for New Albany because they brought so many fans, and because anybody that was of the neutral opinion at a game was an IU fan there to watch Romeo Langford play. And so obviously they've played other conference road games, but it has never been that cheated and that one-sided where everybody in the building wanted to see you perform poorly. I don't think that completely explains his performance on Saturday, but I think that was probably an environment that he maybe really had never dealt with before.
Well, he certainly looked like it was very unaccustomed to performing in that atmosphere because he was absolutely miserable. You surprised that this IU team from three-point distance shoots as badly as we've seen them shoot basically this season?
I am stunned. And not that I thought they would be a great three-point shooting team with the personnel that they've got. I thought they'd be better than they are. But at the same time, a lot of that is also roster construction, and you've got to do a better job of putting together a roster knowing that you simply have to be able to knock down three-point shots on a regular basis to be successful in college basketball these days. And so the guys they've got should be better three-point shooters, but maybe they also should have maybe a little bit better of that quantity, put together on the roster as they're putting it together.
I would say this, that's anymore, you got to make sure that it's one thing to have guys that have 75-inch vertical leaps, but you better have guys that are going to be capable consistently of knocking down the three. And that to me, that is now and in the future is a game changer because it's on every level now. I mean, that's what you have to do on every level of basketball in this era.
You have to have guys that can space the floor. It doesn't mean that everybody has to be a three-point shooter, but you've got to have one or two on the floor because that's what opens up driving lanes for the guys that aren't tremendous three-point shooters. That's the balance that you have to strike, and that helps explain why Indiana had a pair of games last week where they scored in the 50s. And given the way the game is officiated now and set up now, that should never happen, especially at home to Nebraska.
Butler, are we seeing them turn around, or is it going to see what we, I guess, believe in what we see later on tonight against Villanova, whether or not what I'm asking you right now of a turnaround is accurate?
St. John's is not as good as their record would indicate because they didn't play anybody in the non-conference schedule. that's still a good win against one of the more talented teams in the league. And I think Butler winning that game in the fashion in which they did, given how they gave one away the week before against Xavier, I think that goes to help their confidence. Not many teams in the Big East, I think, are overconfident against Villanova. And again, this is not the same Villanova team that we have seen for most of the last 5 years in the Big East, but they're still one of the best teams in that league. But these Butler kids have good experiences in their time against Villanova, especially in Hinkle Fieldhouse. So you can only play the teams that are in front of you on the schedule. Butler did that very successfully, winning both games last week. But it is a whole different experience beating the defending national champs, even if they aren't as good as they were a year ago.
Greg Rakestraw's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Might we see the evolution of Travion Williams be a major factor in saving this Boilermaker season?
Oh, I think there's a might about it. That's definite. And the way that kid has, again, followed what now seems to be the Purdue formula of recruiting a big kid, changing that body type, taking the Caleb Swanigan lead, and he adds a quality that Purdue has had for most of the last 4 or 5 years as they have turned things around and turned into one of the better programs again in the Big Ten. Take the might out of it. He is a difference maker for this Purdue basketball team, no question about it.
How different are they to you right now compared to what we were probably having a conversation about 3 weeks ago?
They're different. I still don't think they are what they were a year ago, and I didn't think that was fair to ask them to be that, because even if you turn your best player, as they clearly do in Carson Edwards, you just can't replace that 4-pack of players with the big game experience that they had. You just couldn't do it. But they're better than they were 3 years ago, and if they continue to play in the fashion in which they have played, they are going to be an NCAA tournament team. And when you lose pieces like they did a year ago and you can go back to the NCAA tournament, to me, that still makes this a good season for Purdue.
Was the huge D. Ford error in that AFC title game on Sunday, would that be a reason why you would not want him around here defensively as a free agent pickup?
Not at all. I mean, that was just you made a mistake, a bad mistake, a preventable mistake, a mistake that ends up costing your team a shot in the Super Bowl. But no, I'm not going to use one play as some sort of, this guy's a talented kid, but he's a screw-up because he lined up in the wrong spot. Heck no, I take that guy on my roster.
He said that he can't see himself not playing alongside Justin Houston. However, the Chiefs did jettison the defensive coordinator, Bob Sutton, today, and now they're on the lookout for somebody else. Do you think that makes it more likely that he returns there as a free agent, maybe gets franchise tagged, or if they're going to let him taste the market and see what might be available to him?
Chiefs aren't going anywhere, and he's not going anywhere. The Chiefs are going to keep him, and you got to remember, you've got Mahomes on 2 more years of low grade money for the quarterback that he is, because once you get to that 5th year, that money starts to blow up a little bit, and then it gets even higher after the 5-year contract is over with. And so, frankly, having a D. Ford on a 1-year deal isn't exactly a bad thing, because it's an investment, but it's not a long-term investment that then still keep you freed up to have Mahomes have a contract that expands a couple of years down the line.
Is it troublesome because he had this season in a contract year, therefore maybe this is a little bit of fool's gold?
We say that every year. We say that every year about top players around the National Football League. And what do we always say about pass rushers? They never hit the open market. That dude ain't leaving KC. Could it cause them to have a couple of sleepless nights after they signed a big money deal? Yeah, probably, but it's going to happen at some point.
Greg Rakestraw is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Does the NFL need to go with everything can be under review in the final 2 minutes of a game?
Something will come out of it. And given how bad that call was, and given the stakes that were up for that call, then yeah. And again, you've heard me cite this example before. Canadian Football League, penalties are reviewable. Pass interference calls are reviewable. Whether it's the last 2 minutes, I heard Mike Pereira yesterday say, what if we just make an 8th member of the crew a guy that's there in the video, in a video booth in the press box, and he can chime in to fix egregious mistakes such as that one. I've heard talks about things being reviewable in New York, whether it's last 2 minutes, whatever. I think we're now going to see more review based on what happened with that call on Sunday.
With what we got in football over the weekend, does that make you feel better about what the NBA does in the final 2 minutes of their games?
The thing is that, the NBA game tends to drag out at the end when you have all of those reviews. And that has been the major concern in the National Football League, is exceeding, past that 3-hour window. That is much less of a concern once you get to the postseason. You just want to get it right. You've got longer windows. People are more willing to invest in their day and in their time. So could we see that take place in a playoff scenario and maybe have a different role for that than we have in the regular season? Perhaps we could, but to me, the two sports are independent of each other, where I don't get as concerned or compare the two, I guess I should say.
Hey, Greg, I know you guys had the city tournament semifinals last night. I'll get to that in just a second, but we saw Warren Central fall to LC. Who's the best team in the state of Indiana, regardless of class, right now?
I would still say Warren Central. I thought the voters got that right. If Carmel had beaten Brownsburg on Saturday, then they would have been the number one team in the state, and I would have had a little problem with that. But Brownsburg beat them. And so both numbers 1 and 2 lost, and Warren kept their number one spot in the 4A poll. I think that's legit. I think there is very little that separates Warren, Carmel, and LC. They're all in the same league. Carmel has already beat Warren Central by 6. Warren and Carmel don't play each other until mid-February. And then Warren and LC, you would assume, would see each other again because they're in the same sectional, in sectional number 10. So even with that loss, I would still say Warren is the best team. But even as they were a year ago when they went 32-0, they weren't an unbeatable team. They were just so darn tough and so darn good that nobody ever got them at the end of the game. LC finally got them on Friday night. Doesn't mean that Warren still is the best team in the state.
Greg, CBS is going to turn down an ad featuring medical weed. That's a lot of money, but they're turning it down. Will we see medical weed Super Bowl ads in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yes, just because I think you're seeing it become much more part of the mainstream culture. There will be CBD on CBS at some point in time in the near future, if not in 2019.
It is becoming more accepted. I said this a little bit earlier. I'm not weed guy. I mean, hell, you know that. But I am I'm anti-pain guy, and I'm certainly an easier route guy. So with that in mind, maybe I am a weed guy, I guess, moving forward. Maybe as I get older, I'm becoming more of a weed guy.
Two things. I already have enough of a desire to eat Taco Bell at 2 in the morning. I don't need any assistance with that. But I'm also for potentially making farmers more money. And if growing a crop that I think we all know has grown well here in the state in the past can make them more money, then on that front, I'm all for it.
Hey, we've got 40 acres and 150 acres ready to roll, and I'm sure both of which probably already have some growing on it right now somewhere. I bet.
Understood. I come home one day from school. I'm in the 6th grade, and there's a helicopter flying over the field next to us, and I kind of look at Dad, and I go, you want to explain what's going on? Now, we didn't farm that field. It was my grandfather's land that he rented out to a farmer.
Yep.
And my dad goes, son, let me explain to you a concept called spot planting. In other words, you hide that stuff on the back end of a crop next to a tree line where, in theory, nobody can see it. Apparently, somebody got tipped off, and the copter was brought in to be able to find that stuff. So, yeah, I think it works in this state.
We had those helicopters flying around our house regularly back in the day. Regularly back in the day.
It was a one-time thing in the Rakestraw household, and it wasn't ours, thankfully or unthankfully, depending on your perspective.
Hey, how was your games last night, by the way?
Games were good. Ritter hung with Cathedral for about 2.5 quarters. Cathedral is really talented. Armand Franklin, kid is so smooth. He had 23 points last night. Didn't really need to force it, but he's got good pieces around him. It's a Cathedral team that plays 7 or 8 guys. They've got good size. 4A is so ridiculously deep locally. You heard me rattle off, Warren, Carmel, LC. I put Cathedral kind of atop the next wave, which would include Zions, who Cathedral has beaten twice, including in double overtime the second time they played. I put HSE and Brownsburg in that mix, too. Center Grove deserves to be in that mix. But there are so many good 4A teams in this area. And I realize you say that every year, but especially this year, that is the case. And then in the other game, Attucks ends up beating Howell after Howell led for a good chunk of that game. So Cathedral and Attucks play each other tomorrow night. I would expect Cathedral to take home their third consecutive city championship.
Hey, back to the whole wheat. Do you use CBD oil at all?
I do not, no, sir.
Have you used it?
I don't think I have used it in the past, at least knowingly so. Let's put it that way.
Have you thought about using it, though?
Not really, because, this whole losing weight thing means there's a lot less pain on my joints and things like that.
Right.
But would I consider using in the future? Certainly.
Yeah, listen, I've noticed that it's good for sleeping. I haven't noticed a lot of other stuff going on, but it's good for sleeping. At least that.
And thankfully, I am not to that point where I have to get up, 2 or 3 times a night. I'm able to make it through like 7-8 hours, no problem. So, again, I have not got to that stage of life just yet.
Give yourself another 8 years, brother.
Yeah,
and then you're going to have. I'm wearing out a path right now. I've got to go have some doctor's appointments or something.
I'm frankly amazed you make it through this 25-minute segment start every hour. That's
I'm like
listen,
right I'm like the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon between midnight and 6 a.m. I don't know why.
My broadcaster bladder kicks in where I can just go for like hours at a time and go, oh, yeah, I guess I better go. So there you go.
All right, buddy. It's always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks.
See ya.
Greg Rakestraw on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. What is that, prostate? Is a prostate, guys, I'm 49, and I think it's time. I know you guys don't want to hear. Well, you know what? You should hear about this. There are a lot of dudes. This is predominantly a dude-oriented audience. And at some point, if you've not already been there, if you're not there, you are going to be there. 49 is the time to get the old prostate exam, right? Don't I have to get jellyfinger and everything? Is it prostate that... I see that commercial all the time, and I just kind of giggle about it. Do you pee too much? I don't know if it's too much, but it's more than it was 20 years ago. Let's talk about health issues at 239-1070. Phil King says Captain Morgan also helps you sleep. Actually, I can't do it every night because I get up at about 5:30. Make sure I get the kids up and going. And I don't want to get up feeling groggy. So I only use the CBD. I think it's CBD 7 when I know that I don't have to get up. Like if I have to get up to play basketball, that's one thing. If I have to get up before 7 o'clock, I'm not going to use it. If I get up at 7 or later, then I will use it. Does that make sense? And it has made me sleep better. I will say that. I'm still kind of waiting for the anti-pain part of it. It's from Steve Jones. So I'm in my truck at 420 listening to JMV talk about weed. That's weird right there. All right, John, is it Jamil that's going to join us on the other side? Is Jamil anti or pro Embiid? Is he taking an anti or a pro stance to my opinion here, Tony? Do you know?
He just wants to talk about it. He might be anti. I'm not sure.
We'll do it, though. We'll do that on the other side. Other calls, too. And I got stuff to give away. Mark Minner, Butler Bulldog, radio announcer, bottom of the hour. Rab Johns to explain a little bit more on Devontae Green not being with the team at Northwestern tonight. And Zach Kiefer. Some Colts free agency in the offseason. Full-scale discussion with you at 239-1070 next.
A successful team knows how to play. So take your staff to Royal Pen for your company's team building event and share the fun. Royal Pen Leisure Centers offer the perfect combination of food and fun for your company's team building event. At Royal Pen, everyone's on the team when you're bowling. But Royal Pen is more than just bowling. We also offer a lot more activities, all focused on fun. It's always comfy in our non-smoking facilities, and bowling and all of our games are guaranteed to generate team spirit and lots of cheers. Call 465-8484 today and let Royal Pen plan your company's team building event. They'll take care of everything, so all your gang needs to do is relax, unwind, and have fun.
Set them up, knock them down, send them flying, spinning round.
For more information, call 465-8484 or look us up at royalpen.com.
Royal Pen, bowling, bowling. Royal Pen.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Is buying a new home your 2019 New Year's resolution? We'll make that dream come true at thehomeloanexpert.com. We'll get you pre-approved the day you call in, lower mortgage rates, and we can close in as little as 14 days without all those headaches and hassles. Find out why so many of the area's top realtors trust the Home Loan Expert team. Get pre-approved today. The 5-minute loan approval only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Guys, when you're dealing with ED issues, talking about intimacy can make you uncomfortable. So we'll use another word for intimacy, like football. Football! Look, you love football. Your wife loves football, and you both want some hot and sweaty football right now. But then fumble. Oopsie! And by fumble, I mean ED issues. You need to get to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. The Indianapolis Men's Clinic knows that erectile dysfunction is a serious issue that affects 50% of men. That's why they offer a comprehensive approach to battling ED, low T, and even PE, which is kind of like a false start. Penalty! Plus, a performance promise. If it doesn't work for you, you don't pay. Before you know it, you'll be back in the game with a touchdown! Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic and book your $99 office visit today. Call 317-999-9000, 317-999-9000, or at indymensclinic.com.
Get up and go now, so you can go tonight.
It's Andy Moore Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36, and it's JMV. You got to eyeball what you want. Online, AndyMooreToyota.com, and then go out there and see my friend Jeremy Wilson. Talk to Moose, the two Chris's, and Andrew about how you can get in the car, truck, or van of your choice. It's the absolute best because of the way that they deal with you. I'm telling you, you'll continue to go back to Indiana's best. It's Andy Moore Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
Chronic headaches, constant sinus infections, pain and pressure. The fatigue was overwhelming.
That's Karen. She's suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She'd go to urgent care, see her doctor.
And we would do the same thing. Steroids, antibiotics, nasal sprays.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty.
Now my sinus cavities are open. You can breathe on a constant basis and not get sinus infections. I don't get headaches anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like, oh, this is miraculous.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure? Is it difficult to breathe through your nose? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with the Indianapolis Sinus Center. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
Dan Dockage here. Thanks to KeyBank, the official banking home of the Indiana Pacers, we can keep making financial progress here and, of course, keep growing basketball here. KeyBank, use the red key, and remember, KeyBank is a member of the FDIC.
We bleed blue.
The character of your locker room matters. It matters.
We live and die with our team.
The level of disappointment and the level of care for each other, that's when you know you're getting it right.
They're growing.
Their ability to hold each other accountable.
Stronger.
What are you willing to struggle for?
Building toward a championship.
It's what brings the locker room together.
Your home of the Colts. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Down the bullish sprint.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Well, I think we both shoot a lot of threes, so, if they're making them, they're hard to beat, and if we're making them, we're hard to beat. So I think you start there. They've got, a really good system, and they trust each other. They don't turn the ball over, so they're usually getting shots on the rim. And they're so solid defensively, that they're physical. You have to be able to handle the ball and be strong with it. And obviously that's something that we take a lot of pride in too. And so, it's a good match. You got to play well to win in terms of that one. So we just got to have a strength of game, focused mindset on one possession at a time.
LaVal Jordan right there. Greg Rakestraw podcast, 1070thefan.com. Mark Menner and a smidge. Jeff Rabjohn's top of the hour. Intern Austin from Center Grove. You have screenshot a tweet that Devontae Green sent at what time and has since deleted it, correct? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have Devontae Green's Twitter pulled up right here, and at 4:07
So about 25 minutes ago, he tweeted wishes granted. So are you thinking the transfer might be coming?
Wishes granted at 4:07.
Yeah, and now he has it deleted. Just
and now it's deleted.
Twitter.
Wishes granted is now been deleted. And we don't know. Well, we think we know the story, right? I mean, we know the rumors to the story right now, but he did not make the trip to Evanston. Will not play tonight versus Northwestern. We'll ask Jeff Rabjohns about that coming up in 30 minutes from now. All right, everybody on hold. I want you to stay right there because I'm going to get to you in just a second. Don, the prostate expert, I'm going to need you, brother. Jamil on Embiid and John on the NFL. Sit tight on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You're going to hear he and Nick Gardner later on tonight. Butler and Villanova. 6:30, your coverage begins right here. And Mark's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Rank this game on the level of must types of wins or the level in which the Dogs need to get this win against Nova tonight.
Yeah, JMV, good to talk to you. I think this is always like the most electric atmosphere, and this is one. I don't know if it's a must-win game. I don't think it's a must-win game in terms of categorizing like, hey, if we don't win this, it hurts your NCAA tournament chance. I think it's one of those games though that you're looking for some resume wins. You're looking for those wins to gauge, hey, is this turnaround we've had over the last couple of games for real? You know, we playing differently with the emergence of Jordan Tucker here over the last couple of games. And this is an opportunity to create a statement. You beat Villanova, the defending national champs, an 18th ranked team in the country who's 5-0 in the Big East. It would be an opportunity to help bolster that resume and also build a little bit of momentum after some tough 1-point losses. So I'm not sure I would categorize it in the must-win category, but I'd say it's a statement win opportunity and a resume opportunity in a big way.
Mark Benner's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Certainly the personnel is different, but why have we seen Butler be so good against a Villanova squad that has done such great things in the past 3 or so years?
Yeah, it's been fascinating. You talk about some of the numbers in this Butler-Villanova matchup. Well, Villanova definitely controls the all-time series over the last 2 years. Butler's 3-2 against Nova, and if you look at what they've done against what other teams have done in the Big East against Villanova 38-4 against other Big East teams during that last couple-year stretch. So Butler has been really impressive, and I think one of the things that really jumps out is Butler's style. The Big East really comes down to matchups. The way Villanova's played has kept Butler in the game. They have shot the ball really well against Villanova. Last year, especially folks that were in the game or watched the game or were here in Hinkle Fieldhouse, remember Butler knocked off 10 straight threes. They shot 15 threes in that game. Jorgensen had a career high at the time, 23. Butler has matched up really well against the Wildcats. And now, you look at the series at Hinkle Fieldhouse, especially the average margin in the 5 years that they've played has been just about 4 points a game. So each game's been close. They've been able to defend the Wildcats really well, defend them on the perimeter, which is going to be a big key tonight because this is a very good three-point shooting team in Villanova. And one that'll take half their field goal attempts from beyond the arc. So defending the three is going to be critical today, and taking care of the ball against a really smart, savvy team like Villanova that doesn't create a lot of unforced errors. Those are a couple keys that have been successful for the Bulldogs the last couple of years. They'll need to do that again tonight.
All right, Mark, I'm going to say Xavier, but I'll ask you, which loss has been or should be the most haunting that the Dogs have suffered so far this season?
Yeah, there's a couple painful ones. I agree with you, JMV. I think that Xavier one was the one that was really tough for a variety of reasons. One, it was you had a 10-point lead with 4 minutes left. Two, it's a rival. It's a rivalry game, a chance to pull a road win off of Xavier Musketeers, team that's down a little bit this year. And you had just come off a game against Seton Hall where you had a 1-point loss as well. So I think that was probably the toughest. Certainly, if you're LaValle Jordan and the squad, you want that Georgetown game back as well. And the Seton Hall game, another 1-point loss. But I think through all of those losses over the last couple of weeks, the Bulldogs have learned. They've gotten better. And I think when you lose close games and you lose leads late, it's tough to see a team respond back like they did against DePaul and St. John's when they started to make runs late in those games and found a way to get those victories. They're going to need to gut it out because you can't really get down to Villanova in a meaningful way. Villanova is one of those teams that's incredibly disciplined. They play with a lead as well as anybody else.
in college basketball. And so this is a Butler team that's going to have to make sure that they're ready to go from the start, but that if they face a little bit of trouble, they don't allow those 6-0, 8-0 runs to turn into 9-0, 12-0 type runs in this game, because Villanova will take full advantage of that.
Yeah, even though Villanova is drastically different as well. Mark Minner joins us. Final thing is this the Jordan Tucker, the way we have seen him as of late, the Dog fans should expect to see rest of the way?
Yeah, the way Jordan Tucker is trending, and really, I've been really impressed with the Bulldogs as a team, the way they've played these last couple of games. Rebounding's been better. Jordan Tucker's been a big part of that. He's right behind Kamar Baldwin, second on the team in rebounding, now tied on the team in scoring. He set back-to-back career high performances, had 19 against DePaul, followed it up with 24 against St. John's, knocked in 6 threes. And Tucker, for those people who aren't familiar, a transfer from Duke, eligible midseason, and has really started to come into his own. And I think the coolest thing about that has been not just the way that the team as a whole has played, and guys have tried to settle into different roles, but what Jordan's been able to play really well. Kamar Baldwin has been terrific in conference play, top 5 in conference scoring. Kamar's been averaging over 20 points per game. He's been top 10 in points, rebounds, and assists in conference play. The only Big East player that can say that. And so the emergence of Jordan Tucker has been really special, and I think he's going to continue to flourish. But what that's done for Kamar Baldwin to help elevate him as well has been exciting to see. So now they're going to get a really good test against a tough top 25 Villanova team, a chance for their first top 25 win of the season.
By the way, we didn't mention that Jordan Tucker's godfather is the late, great Heavy D, which is awesome.
JMV. How can you not love that? How can you not love it? Now, the thing I'm upset about is Nick nor I, we've not worked in enough references. We need to step in. We need to step up our game. And so, if you've got any that you want us to kind of think about that would be fitting, just feel free to let us know. Got to be careful. But
wait. Can we now? Now that we found, what are we gonna? Now we found love. I mean, like lyrics is what we're doing here, or what?
Well, no. I mean,
or are you talking about just working Tucker in?
Working. Yeah, we got to.
Sexy mother, something like that.
I'm not going there.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother. I mean, is that what we're doing?
I'll tell you what. I'm not sure if you saw the play he had in the last game against St. John's from the wing. He crossed over and stepped back. Figueroa fell down. Took a front row seat to Tucker, and he's got some swagger. We saw Paul Jorgensen have some fun swagger the last time these two teams, Butler and Villanova, met. So it's gonna be fun to watch this one unfold, and certainly fun to watch Jordan Tucker continue to grow this season.
All right, see if you can work it in tonight. If he makes a big play, I want a yippee-ki-yay Jordan Tucker out of you tonight. Okay, can you do that? Just for me.
Look, I'm a man of my word. I don't know if I can make that promise to you, but
what do you think, Tony? You think he can give us a yippee-ki-yay Jordan Tucker tonight with a big play?
Yeah, if he knocks on a three-pointer, it'd be a perfect opportunity.
Well, we'll see Tony tonight over at the game, it sounds like, so it'll be good.
All right, always a pleasure. We'll be listening, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Mark Minner, voice of the Dogs on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Hey, Tony, write this down, too. If Jordan Tucker has a big game, I want to get him on the show tomorrow.
Make that happen.
I want to talk about Heavy D.
Yep. I'll make it happen for you.
You think Minner will go with if he has a big moment tonight, will I get a yippee-ki-yay Jordan Tucker out of him tonight? Now it's kind of because now it's going to be bouncing around in his head that has to happen.
You might.
Yeah.
You just might.
Yippee-ki-yay, Jordan Tucker. Well, we got to have it tonight. Don is the prostate expert joining us now. Hey, Don, help me out here with my prostate.
Well, I can't help you out, but I can offer you some advice.
Please.
First of all, you don't have to get fisted to get it checked.
Cool.
Good to know.
All right.
They do a PSA test. It's a blood test. Now, if that turns up bad, you got to go in and make sure you find a doctor with really, really, really small hands.
Small-handed doctor.
Yeah.
I go to Dr. Dave. I've not checked out his hand size, but it doesn't seem like he's got big mitts on him, so that might work. Maybe.
Call him up, ask him, tell him you want to buy him a gift. What size glove does he wear?
That's something I got to do here at 49. Is that a reason? Why, like, I'm running back and forth to the bathroom like it's my job every night too?
It's perfectly normal and natural for the prostate to enlarge. You lie down, it applies pressure to the bladder, and you feel like you have to go potty more. You probably also notice it's not an overwhelming quantity, but the urgency is increased.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start wearing a diaper just because I'm too lazy to get up and down.
Yeah, about it. I'm older than you, but I think I have a prostate about the size of a beach ball.
All right, I'm on it.
You're
Don,
going to be fine, brother.
Don, thank you for the
One more thing.
Yes.
Remember not long ago we were talking about musicians that played any sort of sport and couldn't figure out any really, really good ones?
Yeah.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Wayman Tisdale.
The late Wayman Tisdale was
The late Wayman Tisdale.
great on the saxophone.
Incredible.
He was. He was a jazz musician that was very talented, indeed.
Very talented in many ways.
Yep. Don, thank you for the call and the advice. Tony's waiting me. Jamil, I don't want to make you wait. Embiid, give me that really quick before we hit a break. Go ahead.
All righty, man. Pretty much, I think Embiid is just he didn't let this process thing get to his head. You know what I mean? And it's like if you want to flex after you're dunking on people and all that, that's cool. But flex when you're in the playoffs against us or Boston, so you could try to go win the NBA championship.
So you agree with me? You think he's a talented jackass like I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just really quick, shout out to my baby. She's the biggest Colts fan. Joanne, I love you. And I'm cooking dinner for the kids, babe. So,
Joanne. Joanne, we love you. That's awesome, Jamil. Thank you very much. I love it when you shout out to your significant other. I think everybody should do that.
Why did the prostate expert shout out anybody?
Seriously, you come on here, you drop what you want to drop, and then at the very end, shout out your significant other. Jamil's cooking a little dinner for the wife and kids. That's awesome. Joanne, we love you, Joanne. Quick one, John's going to lead on the other side. Jeff Rabjohn's top of the hour. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of Devontae Green. Wishes granted, delete. No being in Evanston, maybe not playing for the foreseeable future, maybe being done. A lot of question marks floating around. Rabbi, top of the hour, Zach Key for the star. Bottom of the five. Back with you next.
Museum by Moonlight at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis is back Saturday, February the 23rd. Register to win a pair of tickets online now, 1070thefan.com.
Hey, Dan Dockage here with Casey Marks of Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Casey, tell us a little bit about Crown Haven Wealth Advisors.
We get that our clients are unique, so each client deserves a unique plan. You deserve more than an advisor's best guess. Crown Haven can guarantee your retirement future. With Crown Haven, your savings will never be eaten away by hidden fees or sales commissions, and you'll never have the chance of losing everything due to matters completely out of your control. You'll get a competitive return on your money without the fear of losing it.
Look, I know I sleep very well at night knowing that my money is safe and growing for a future that I and my family can truly rely on.
After all, Dan, this isn't just money. It's your life.
Do what I did. Put Casey to work for you by calling Crown Haven Wealth Advisors at 844-896-SAFE. That's 844-896-7233 or online at crownhaven.com.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. At Cordell & Cordell, we encourage our clients to participate, to recognize how essential their role in this process is. They've got to be willing to help us help them. And by working jointly in a sort of partnership, we're more likely to get the best possible outcome for our clients. And that's really the standard that our clients can fairly hold us to, is what is the best possible outcome for them. So clients who are facing divorce need to recognize that for them to succeed, they need a partnership between them and their attorney.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Indianapolis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 317-322-0122 or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Indianapolis. Cordell & Cordell, 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1100, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Come to Shane Company for a Valentine's Day gift that will make her smile. Hi, I'm Tom Shane.
And I'm Christy.
Every day, I help customers at our store find romantic gifts, like our new and exclusive heart-shaped necklaces, earrings, bracelets, and rings, created by our design team.
One of my favorites is our delicate heart-shaped necklace, accented with diamonds on a fine Italian chain. Choose either 14-karat white, yellow, or rose gold for $265.
Shane Company has the largest selection of gifts with red, the traditional color of Valentine's Day, like our heart pendant with red garnet for $135, or our gorgeous pendant with a heart-shaped ruby for $515.
We have hearts for every woman's taste, from classic to modern.
And why not give her a heart on Valentine's Day? She's already given you hers.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hey, it's JMV, and I'm here with my pal, Darren Andrews from PAI Medical Group. Darren, my results speak for themselves. I absolutely love it, and I know it's because of PAI's exclusive technology.
Thanks, JMV. PAI is now one of only 2 clinics in the entire US to offer the ARTIS robotic FUE and PAI's trademark multi-unit hair grafting, not to mention PRP, platelet-rich plasma.
Outstanding. I had multi-unit hair grafting, and I know that I would not have these kind of results had it not been for the technology. Go to my VIP page and check it out at WeGrowHairIndy.com.
We have the video of your procedure, the photos and videos of your progress. Most men can get more hair in one procedure with multi-unit hair grafting.
It is fantastic, and only a free evaluation can you tell which procedure is right for you. 888-724-5129. WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's 888-724-5129. Tell them JMV sent you. This year, you're going to grow your hair back. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com now.
Hey, it's Dan Dockage for Family Leisure. It's a new year, and the annual floor model spa sale is back. Looking for a ridiculous new deal on a new spa? Now's the time to go to Family Leisure. Every floor model spa has to go to make room for new incoming displays. I love my spa, I do. So now it's your turn. Deep discounts on all floor model spas up to 30% off. Family Leisure offers the highest quality spas available at every price point, including swim spas. Do not wait. These prices are good for a limited time at Family Leisure. Tell them Dan Dockage sent you.
John here with a fantastic, with a stupendous, with a ridiculously awesome idea for you. It's incredible from Diamonds Direct. A limited time special finance offer so you can go big this Valentine's Day. Mark your calendar, February the 4th through the 14th for these 10 special days. You can get 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase at Diamonds Direct. Yeah, let me say this again. 0 interest, 5 years on any purchase with nothing down. It's truly an amazing opportunity. Here's some examples for you here. $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. How about a $5,000 diamond and sapphire bracelet for just $85 a month? Diamonds Direct's inventory has been expanded for this Valentine's Day, so you can truly give her the unforgettable gift. February the 4th through the 14th. 5 years, 0 interest financing with 0 down. Only at the best. Tell Brad I sent you. Diamonds Direct, on approved credit. Keystone, it's a crossing.
It's a battle between 2 of the top teams in the East when your Indiana Pacers and the Toronto Raptors meet Wednesday at 7. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers, Raptors, Wednesday at 7.
The Ride with JMV.
Collect them, trade them, or just enjoy them.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Tony's over there. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. So you think Mark Minter's going to give us a yippee-ki-yay Jordan Tucker tonight on a big play?
Maybe.
Yay?
Just let us know because I'll be at the game. Maybe I'll take my headphones.
Remind Mark Minter at Mark Minter that we're counting on him tonight. We're counting on you. Gary Collins, Dr. Dave doesn't have big hands. Gutshot Greg, no way. Mark Minter is too professional for that. He has to think about his career. He doesn't want to end up as an afternoon radio guy.
This is true. Next thing you know, he'll be doing LSU Indiana State baseball games on the payphone.
Oh, man, that was great. That was great. Me and Tom James back in the day. Todd Walker's playing second base for the LSU Tigers. Mike Sirotka's on the hill, Tony. Brian Ferguson writes this: melatonin works good for falling asleep. It does, but it affects me trying to get up early. I can't be affected. I got to be able to climb up, climb out, and get going. Matt Price writes this: CBD7 is a hemp-derived CBD. Look for a marijuana-derived variety. You can get it with 0% THC. Think of it like getting the off-the-shelf cold medicine versus the stuff behind the counter. So I don't have the stuff behind the counter. I want the stuff behind the counter. CBD7 is a hemp-derived CBD. I'm looking for the marijuana-derived variety. 0 THC. Has anybody got that out there? Maria, do you have that? My man Stevie D, do you have that? I've got all these bottles I need to check, I guess. I've got a bunch of bottles. This is from Matt. Had Big Hoffa's today for lunch. Mammoth portions and the food was legit. I asked that question on Saturday. I passed. Big Hoffa's up in Westfield. I think it's on 32. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's on 32. I had to go to the Kroger up there when we went to Grand Park, so I slid by and I saw Big Hoffa's. I couldn't make it, but I love barbecue, and I asked if it was legit. Overwhelmingly, everybody around here suggested indeed it is legit. And Matt, with a little picture for us right there. I'm going to have to do that sometime soon. Big Hoffa's. And a quick shout, I love Westfield. Westfield's awesome. And I should have had an inkling of this because that's where Chris Denari is originally from. But I saw my man Travis, who listens every day. Brett listens every day. A lot of people. I love Westfield. About an hour to get up there, but I love Westfield. I guess I could suggest if I didn't live so far south that it wouldn't be an hour to get up there. JMV, everyone knows Indiana will be the last state to legalize marijuana. This state is too red. What would Tony Katz be crying about downstairs if marijuana was lit? Does he want it or not? Would he keep it in his scarf? JMV, there's no such thing as 0% THC in any CBD oil. Someone is lying. Hey, I'm just going by the information that's given to me right here. Thank you, Koontz. Belton, Texas, shout out. John's at 239-1070. John, hello.
Hey, how are you today, John?
I'm great, John. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick, I'm not by all means a basketball insider. I'm just a fan. But do you think the problem with IU is like it's been the past few years? There's just no good true leader to step up and say, hey, I'm going to take over this game, kind of like when Victor Oladipo was there or Yogi Ferrell was there?
I don't think they have that at all. I don't think they have anywhere near that right now. And maybe, and I think the hope is, I think Finney could be that one of these days. And I like Finney a great deal, but I think he could be that, but they don't have anything like that right now. And then in a game in which you need to shoot threes and be able to make threes and be good at it, the complete and utter defensive disrespect they get for anybody out there shooting threes on their team is awful. And that's the biggest problem to me.
And personally, I always thought maybe Morgan would step up and be that leader that Archie Miller needs on this team. But, I mean, he seems like he can be some days, and some days he seems like he's just like a team.
I don't think they have the guy that you described a moment ago. But, again, the bigger issue to me is just the utter disregard that teams have for any kind of outside shooting, which is just incredibly necessary in this era of any hoop.
Hey, and real quick, my wife has menopause, and she takes that CBD oil, and it helps her with her night sweats and her sleeping at night and definitely her mood swings.
Will it help me with my menopause?
I don't know.
John, thank you. I can be honest with you, John. Thank you for the call. It's the first time anybody has ever said menopause on this show. I've hosted this show here for 9 years almost now, Tony. And then prior to the other place, 5 years. So this is the first time in nearly 15 years anybody's ever said menopause on this show. This is like a signature moment, I think, right here. Rab Johns gets to the bottom of the latest on Devontae Green coming up at the top of the hour. Zach Kiefer, bottom. We're going to talk a little NFL free agency with the Colts in mind, too. Back with you next.
There's never an excuse for missing anything on The Fan. 1070 The Fan on connected devices and smart speakers. 1070thefan.com. 1070 The Fan app on iTunes and the Google Play Store. For a full list, go to 1070thefan.com/listen. Plus, you can listen to all subscribing to the podcast. Take us anywhere and everywhere you go. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. Your home for Indy sports.
How much do you need to save for retirement? Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, founder of Edelman Financial Engines. The question's simple, but the calculation can be complex. How much you need to save for retirement depends on how much income you want, what outside sources you'll have, like Social Security and pensions. And here's the good news. You don't have to guess. We can give you the answer. For more than 32 years, we've shown people just like you how much you need to save for retirement and how to invest it. And now's your chance. Call us for the personal financial advice and investment management services you need with local offices to serve you. At Edelman Financial Engines, we're happy to help you whether you have a little to invest or a lot or anything in between. Come see why thousands of folks just like you rely on Edelman Financial Engines. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday for More Restoration. Chances are you or someone you know have already experienced a disaster at home or at work. A fire or flood is never something you plan on happening, but if it does, you need to know what to do and how to protect your damaged property. More Restoration is the only name you need to know when a property loss occurs. Let More Restoration help you get your property back to normal with their second-to-none, industry-leading emergency response team. Call the only number I call. Call More Restoration Disaster Cleanup and tell them Jeff Saturday sent you.
After a record-breaking year at Diamonds Direct, we just want to say thank you for your support, your confidence, your trust. It's never something we take for granted, and we pledge to work even harder in the new year to exceed your expectations. And for 2019 at Diamonds Direct, we're expanding our selection once again with an even larger inventory of hand-picked diamonds. These are precious 100% natural stones created literally billions of years ago deep in the center of the earth. Real, rare diamonds with lasting and proven value, offered at the guaranteed best price in America. Plus, we've expanded our selection of one-of-a-kind designer jewelry, the latest fashion-forward pieces you won't find anywhere else. If you're getting engaged or celebrating a special anniversary this year, come let us share our passion for diamonds. Let us show you how to identify real value, and let us help you make the most of this remarkable moment in your life. Diamonds Direct, offering the unique blend of uncompromising luxury and unbeatable value. Come discover the remarkable combination for yourself. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
An unreliable network can cost you money. That's why you need Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast with the complete reliability of 4G LTE backup, which means that even if something like construction knocks out the power, you can still upload that presentation and not take a hit to your company's bottom line. For a limited time, switch to Comcast Business and get an amazing deal on fast, reliable internet. Get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Just one more way Comcast Business goes beyond other providers. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 1/31/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra. Subject to change. Connection Pro backup limited up to 6 hours. Requires Comcast Business Internet. Offer price requires EcoBill. Pay for this billing and auto pay through Comcast Business My Account.
1 hour heating and air conditioning, making sure your heating unit is running the way that it should, especially this time of year. I know we've warmed up today. We're going to warm up a little bit more tomorrow, but we're going to go back in the deep freeze again in this winter of 2019. How'd the first round go? Past couple of days, we went below zero. Is it working out? Could you tell that maybe something wasn't right? That's where you call in the experts at 1 hour heating and air conditioning. 855 1 hour. They come in, they check it out, make sure everything is going as planned. And if there is a repair that's necessary, they're going to have everything they need on the vehicle to get it fixed for you. And they'll cut the price tag by $51 for anything you need right now with 1 hour heating and air conditioning. If you need it, call them. If you think you need it, call them. Just be sure. That's 855 1 hour today.
In 2018, Hero.Loan was the fastest growing VA loan program in the nation. Get pre-approved today with our 5-minute loan approval only available at Hero.Loan.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Ride with JMV.
The soft tropical air caresses your skin with a gentle kiss.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Kiss. Is this my commercial up here right now on PAI? That's not my dome right there, is it? Who are those dorks? Don Stuck looks like the Emperor from Star Wars.
What do they tell you when you come in? Do they say, hey, John,
I get to spin around on a chair.
Your before picture, we want it to be as close to a mugshot as possible.
I mean, no, they don't tell me anything, but I guess you just kind of look all sad. And, oh, man, I suck. Look at my hair. Look at my bald spot. Can you tell us the classic horseshoe design taking shape here? Ah, man. Chicks aren't digging it. Yeah, man.
But you're doing
Kinda
fine.
like that?
I mean, chicks aren't still digging you, but you're doing all right.
They would, but they know that I'm completely unavailable. You have to admit, if I were available, it'd be all about it, right?
At least
it'd be all about it.
At least in these PAI commercials, the before and after, it's the same people. Like, there's other things out there that do like a side-by-side, and there's no way in hell it's the same person. It's like they look totally different. They're like long-lost cousins.
What? That's me, man. That was me before and me after.
No more. You know what word hasn't been said on this show in a long, long time?
Moist?
Monkey butt.
Monkey butt.
No, you said moist yesterday or last
I did.
Friday.
I've done that a lot recently. My fault. Couple of things. Jeff Rabjohn's going to join us in a second. Calls 239-1070. Super Bowl conversation. Colts free agency. Bottom of the hour. Zach Kiefer. See if he has some of the same ideas that I have. Villanova Butler. Mark Minner earlier. IU Northwestern. Greg Rakestraw earlier. Devontae Green left in Bloomington. Devontae Green with a mysterious tweet at about 4:07. Saying wish is granted and then yanked less than 20 minutes later.
So is he transferring, you think?
That's what it looked like and sounded like. I've got the screenshot right in front of me. CBS will not accept a Super Bowl medical weed ad. Darren McFadden, former NFL running back, passed out in the drive-thru of a Texas Whataburger.
Well, that food is to die for. So.
Laser Light Tom Brady. Angry Saints fans file lawsuit. Right. Pacers tomorrow night versus the Raptors. I believe you're updated. Dave Matthews Band, 2 dates in June, officially announced. Sam Elliott, after almost 30 years of a snub for Best Actor in a Supporting Role in Roadhouse, finally gets the nod for A Star is Born. Actually, he should have probably got a nod for Tombstone too, but certainly. Talk about the Academy leaving this guy off the ballot for Roadhouse. And I haven't seen A Star. I haven't seen any of these. What, A Star is Born and Bohemian Rhapsody? What's the one, Vice?
Oh, you haven't seen a new movie? No
Vice
blank.
with Homer Bailey as Dick Cheney?
Mm-hmm.
Vice.
You're crazy, Dick Cheney.
It's from Jeff Hammer. Hey, JMV, maybe you touched on this, but is it reviewing interference not nearly impossible? Couldn't it be called on nearly every play one way or the other based on judgment? Sure. But our thought is maybe you should really put it under a microscope in the final 2 minutes of a game, not to have something like we saw on Sunday afternoon take place. That's the way. That's the direction I'm guessing it's going to go here. Because it's going to go somewhere. It may not go all the way, but it's going to go somewhere. It will, and that's my guess. That's my guess of the path in which it will take. We'll get back to you on the other side on the Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline. He's our friend from Peaks.com, and nobody covers the Hoosiers better than Jeff Rabjohn. So where has all this Devontae Green stuff been going? Where is it right now? And what's the future? Is there anything we know that's just beyond just the rumor mill grinding right now? Anything officially said?
Well, I don't know if I would use the word officially, but what I can say is my understanding is pretty clear that he did not make the trip and that he will not be available tonight. Exactly where this thing goes in the future, I expect some clarity tonight, but I'm going to be kind of careful right now. But he did not make the trip. I was told I will not play tonight, obviously, because he's not there. And we'll see exactly where this goes in the future. but obviously not a great situation tonight for IU.
Yeah, I was told it was going to be 3 games, and then I saw the tweet that somebody sent to me that he has since wiped off the Twitter account about wishes granted, which takes this in a different direction. So I guess there's a lot of ways in which you can take it right now, Jeff, if you're just going by unofficial news.
Yeah, I mean, there is, but, kids tweet a lot of stupid stuff. I'm going to be real careful.
So do adults. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I shouldn't. This is not age specific.
Right.
People in general tweet a lot of stupid stuff. So let's. I'm gonna be a little cautious here when we're talking about what might or might not be related to that. But he didn't make the trip. He's not playing tonight, and we'll see exactly what happens moving forward. What decisions get made.
How's this affect this IU team in Evanston this evening, Jeff?
Well, I mean, it doesn't help. Devontae Green, his turnovers actually had come down. He had a couple games of 0 or 1 turnovers lately. He was IU's 4th leading scorer. He's actually shooting 36% from 3. And you're playing a game where you have a team 12th and a team 13th in the Big Ten in scoring. This thing had a chance to be a rock fight anyway, and certainly might be even more so moving forward. So it doesn't help IU, the situation tonight. I mean, they're going to need Romeo to be Romeo. They're going to need Juwan to be Juwan. And they're probably going to need Finney to be back to his normal self, maybe even a little better. And they're going to need somebody else, I think. Justin Smith to be kind of like what he was at Purdue. Maybe not. Maybe he's not going to get 15 points, which is season high, but he's averaging a little over 8 points. If he can get to the 12, 13-point range, that certainly would be a benefit. But not having a scorer possibly could be a meaningful factor. We'll see. I think both coaches are going to try to turn this thing into a grinder, though. Both of them have teams that aren't good offensively. Both coaches have had quotes recently about how they got to hang their hat on defense. Like I said, they're 12th and 13th in the Big Ten in scoring. I think we're looking at a rock fight.
Jeff Rabjohns at Peaks.com is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So what the IU offense, why especially recently so bad?
I think part of it is, they've really got 2 talented offensive players. 2 talented offensive players who have, really what I would call big-time skills, meaning you can go, most nights you can go get your average in the Big Ten. And even Romeo, Nojel Eastern deserves a ton of credit. He did a terrific job guarding Romeo, getting him into foul trouble earlier, causing Romeo to be hesitant. So I think, lack of offensive players is a little bit of the issue. And certainly the injuries, not being able to really truly practice has been a factor. I know fans don't want to hear that. It's not an excuse. It's not anything like that. It's just reality. I mean, even Matt Painter talked about how seasons when he had stretches where there were multiple injuries, they got bad offensively because you got to be careful in practice. You can't get other guys hurt. So you really can't do a ton. So that's been a little bit part of it. And some guys who showed flashes early in the year, Evan Fitzner had 4 threes against Marquette. IU won 96-73 over a team that's top 15 in the country right now, but Fitzner hasn't been able to score recently. So that's certainly a problem. And then they've got a couple guys, in Fitzner and Zach McRoberts, who have, really been non-factors at all offensively. Demezy Anderson hasn't been able to get going yet. So they're really kind of, when you look at the roster, people say, oh, it's a pretty good roster. I say, okay, well, do this. Take the whole Big Ten, draft 10 players. How many guys from IU are you taking? It's not a very talented offensive roster, and the scouting in the Big Ten is terrific. They figure out how to at least impact and take away some things you do. They're not going to stop Juwan. Most teams aren't going to stop Romeo, but the scouting in the Big Ten is terrific. Arguably the best in college basketball, because everybody in the Big Ten almost has somebody who is very talented at scouting and coming up with a defensive game plan. I would say clearly better than every league except for maybe the ACC, and even then depth of defensive ability would be a reasonable argument for the Big Ten. So you add all that up, and I think IU is a very offensively challenged roster right now, and that's one of the reasons they're trying to get guys like Trace Jackson-Davis, Armand Franklin, Keon Brooks, etc., guys who have a chance to be not only good defensive players, but guys who have the potential to put more points on the board.
Yeah, especially recently, teams are so packed in against most of these IU offensive players. And it just seemed like, and maybe it was only a couple of Jeff. I mean, I may be making something out of it that's really not there. But, man, it seemed like Zach McRoberts had the ball with a wide-open look against the shot clock. It felt like a half a dozen times, and I'm sure it wasn't, but that's what it felt like watching that on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he had a couple stretches there where he played double-figure minutes and didn't even score. That's an issue offensively. And you look at IU in its last 4 games, and it was able to get 75 points at Maryland, which actually is a pretty solid number on the road, but only 63 points at Michigan, only 51 against Nebraska, only 55 against Purdue. And I thought Matt Painter did a terrific job defensively for most of the game, especially with the way Travion Williams has come on. He had 2 bigs basically stay in or right near the paint. So every time IU drove, you had to get around your guy first of all, then you ran into 2 bigs in the paint. That really creates problems. But, yeah, I mean, IU's got guys who are really struggling offensively to create much of anything, which I think is kind of obvious when in back-to-back games you have 51 and 55 points.
Fitzner, too, and it's not like he's getting a lot of minutes either, but I know why. You know, he was brought in and to shoot the 3, and he looks like he didn't want to step into one too much right now, Jeff. At least that's the way that looks when he plays.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, and you don't know what's in another person's head. You can't say for sure, but it looks like the old thing of, you know, player questioning his confidence. You know, he was really shooting free and easy earlier in the season. Obviously, the Marquette game was his high water mark, hitting 4 threes. But, you know, he hasn't been able to do a whole lot recently. He's had some scoreless games. And when he gets, you know, 0 minutes at Purdue, I think that's kind of telling as far as what Archie Miller's thinking as far as, okay, you're not giving us anything. All right, let's try a few more minutes for some other guys. Let's see what Demezy Anderson can do and Clifton Moore, those kind of guys.
Jeff Rabjohns at Peaks.com is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. What's the DEFCON level right now on Peaks with IU basketball fans?
Well, I think fans are very frustrated because anytime your team loses 4 games in a row, and doesn't play real well. I think the last 2 games you can say they didn't play real well. People get very frustrated, and fans always want to see something occur that makes them feel very, very encouraged about the future. And when their team plays well, you know, fans do, and this isn't just specific to college basketball, it's pretty much all sports. The most recent result, most recent performance, they take that and they say, oh, okay, if we play like this, then A, B, and C will happen. And fans want to feel like, okay, we're going to go to the tournament, we're going to have a chance to do something, you know, good in our conference or our division if you're talking the NFL. And right now fans don't have a ton of confidence, and I understand that. I think what I do is, I mean, you know me, I take usually a longer lens look at things. And, you know, Archie Miller's had 1 recruiting class. If you look at guys, even really good guys, I mean, even if you want to take a look at elite coaches like Jay Wright, you know, certainly he's up there with 2 titles in the last couple of years. You know, his first 3 years at Villanova, NIT. You can look at Tony Bennett of Virginia. I think everybody would agree that's an elite college basketball program right now. He didn't win a single NCAA tournament game his first 4 years. His 4th year at Virginia, he didn't make the NCAA tournament, and people were calling for his head. But I think one thing to look at over time is actually stacking recruiting classes. And Matt Painter actually made a really good – he almost had like a speech about it post-game, because I just asked him about you know, recruiting and how important it is as far as program building. And he mentioned that the most important thing is stacking recruiting classes, and you have to get old. You have to get old, and if you can, stay old. And that takes building. That takes multiple recruiting classes. It takes at least 3 and usually 4. So I kind of take the longer lens look of, okay, IU's first recruiting class was top 10 in the country. That was very good. You got a stud in Romeo Langford, but you also got program guys. You know, Robert Finnessy, 4-year player. That guy's going to be terrific as a junior and senior. Those are the kind of guys who win games for you in March when they're older. This year's recruiting class, you got a 5-star out of Center Grove and Trace Jackson Davis. You got a 4-star out of Indianapolis Cathedral in 6'5" guard Armand Franklin, who's shooting almost 40% from 3 this season. So I take the longer-term look as far as what does this look like it's building towards. But I totally understand fans look at what has the team done recently on the court, on the field, on the ice. And if they're not happy with what they're seeing right now, then they're not happy. And then that's totally understandable, and that's just very normal fan behavior. That's just the way it works.
Do you think that they're justified? Let's go back to the Nebraska game for a moment. And, you know, you could really – You could, if you look back on it, there was a moment with Justin Smith, probably more than a couple, where after a turnover, he kind of lollygagged about down the other end of the floor. Are the fans justified for saying, hey, this is not altogether in that Nebraska game, for example, a motivated squad, or to you is that just fan speak too?
No, I thought the effort by IU in the Nebraska game was awful. I thought it was the worst effort they've shown all season. I think that's. I don't even know if that's. I think that's just basically observable. They were bad effort-wise. Not only did they play poorly, I thought the effort was awful. And when you're not overly talented offensively, effort, energy, getting 50-50 balls, being terrific on defense, being really connected on defense, being really good on the defensive rebounding game, keeping teams from getting second chance points, hustling back. Like you said, I think there were a couple times. Justin Smith, even Romeo had a turnover where he just kind of turned around and jogged back, and it was like, whoa, what in the world is that? So those are the kind of things that you, no matter how well you're playing, no matter whether the ball's going in the hole or not, those are the kind of things you can control. Those are the kind of things you have to control. So I thought IU's effort in the Nebraska game was bad, and it was as bad as it's been all season.
I got to ask you this about Archie Miller and the staff and offensively. You mentioned it's tough to score past couple, not over 60 points. Should be a grinder later on tonight. You're missing some bodies. No Devontae Green as well, which, regardless of what you think, is not going to be a good thing just for numbers and bodies at Northwestern this evening. Does IU do anything different offensively than what they're trying to accomplish right now? Do you have to try to do something different considering the bodies and considering just the lack of offense we have seen, especially in the past two games?
I think you got to try to get more pick and roll, screen and rolls, things like that, with guys like Romeo going downhill and attacking the basket. I think you got to find ways. You're not going to free them up because, a couple of Big Ten assistants have already told me, going into the season, they had Romeo listed as a DNL guy, meaning do not leave, no matter what. So you're not going to free them up, but what you have to try to do is create just a little bit of advantage for them so they can turn the corner and get going downhill. I think IU needs to get more because they're not magically going to become a great three-point shooting team. That's not going to happen. So you can't sit here and say, oh, I want them to make more threes. Okay, that's great. I want to go on a date with Kate Upton. Ain't happening. So you can't sit here and wish for things that aren't likely to happen or things that the team isn't good at. But what they can do is try to, get more things of guys going downhill, get more things where guys are moving, like with angles. And angles, even on the interior. They did some really good stuff with angles when they played Duke last year, putting Juwan and even Duran when he was healthy. High post, maybe even one step above the high post, and then they cut toward the block. So when they caught it, they're moving, the defender's moving, and you got a chance to turn into that guy's shoulder, go through him and score, go into the shoulder, go up, maybe get fouled. I think IU's got to get more things going to the basket. I also think they're a team that they need to get to the line. They need to get some points at the free throw line because it's such a struggle for them to get points. Even though their field goal percentage is very good, top 5 in the country, number 1 in the Big Ten, there are times when if you miss the three and the other team gets a run out, it's really a big problem. If you're having to pound it inside to Juwan so frequently, then even though maybe the number of shots he makes is high, if you're not getting a lot of easy shots, you're not getting the free throw line, the number of points you're getting aren't high, and IU needs to be able to get more points. It's not just about field goal percentage. It's much more about points per possession. So I think IU's got to get more things going downhill, get guys playing on the move, do some more stuff with ball screens, and they got to get to the line.
Boy, free throw line. Speaking of which, on Saturday, Ravi, woo! Let me tell you about that.
Yeah, then that's not the only one. They've had a number of games where they haven't been good at the free throw line. But they've also had games where they've been good. At Maryland, they're perfect from the line. So it's like you look at them and you say, okay, that's something you're capable of doing. And that's why I would look a little more toward that than trying to put up a high number of threes, because they have been capable of getting to the line and making them. They have not been capable, really, of showing they're a good three-point shooting team outside of a few instances. Like we mentioned, Bitzner going 4 for 4 from the three against Marquette. That obviously was an extreme outlier. You can't really depend on that or say, okay, we need to try to replicate that twice a week in the Big Ten.